always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back for week number 4 of the ECAC Top 8 Plays of the Week. Now, at this point, you're probably realizing two things. One, that's right, I'm going to be with you all season long as we jump through the best moments of every week. And number 2, wow, Septilence really only wears one thing when he's not on the clock. And I can't even defend myself, it's a comfortable outfit. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into week number 4 and see what these players brought to the table to beat out their opponents and be victorious. Wake Forest was already up a game, there were 4 minutes left on the clock, and they just couldn't find that first point to take the lead and put them up 2-0 in the series. But in a final moment of success, Malone clears it from one coast to another and finds an open goal, giving Wake Forest the lead once again.
These Champ 3 and Champ 2 is doing. I mean, seriously, look at Malone making advantages for himself.
Wow.
And he will put Wake Forest on the map. This game number 5 could just go their way.
I just want to say Malone just said, I'm going to show you what a Champ 3 can do. All right, buddy?
On a control map in Overwatch, your team must capture 100% of a point to succeed. 99 just won't cut it. King Rock from Keene University was fully aware of that and didn't just find a Death Blossom. He found a full-blown Death Garden to keep his team alive.
Sound barrier to go away as well, especially now that you have your own. It's going to be a little bit more breathing room. Doesn't look like the one. Okay, there we are. Now it's coming up big. This Reaper has bloomed.
That was just gorgeous amount of patience coming.
GVSU Blue found themselves up by 5 rounds, and it's always better to turn that 5 into a 6. It's incredible, however, that this team doesn't always need all 5. It can come down to just one player and how much they can really GVS do.
An Illusion delivers with efficiency. 3 in a row. No time left, even if they had the chance at Orbital Strike out of the last.
This battle between Muskingum and St. Francis was insanely close. Only 3 players in a round, and there were 1 player left on both sides, both down to their final stock. Things were looking pretty strong for St. Francis, their Luigi only at 40%, but it was up to Splat to do anything but.
Just keep him off stage with that Zerg. Oh,
If
that spot
didn't-
right here
if
for
that-
Teo.
If that block didn't disappear,
Oh,
No way.
Oh, just steps on the
pressure plate.
A tale as old as time, Pace White versus Pace Gold, and Pace White's morale was through the roof as they won a fight, but little did they know, this was Lofi's world, and they wouldn't be living in it for much longer.
Going in with the blade.
Uh-oh, Blade is out. It's hacked. It doesn't matter, though. Slashes away for 2. Looking for a 3rd. Looking for 4. Won't get it just yet on the Blade. However, the slash and dash works out. Lofi's got 3. Looking for everybody else on this team. It's a white.
The Inkling versus Ganondorf matchup is not very good for Ganondorf, but let's be honest, which matchups are? In this clip, we're going to be watching as JD from Fisher learns the hard way that you never really want to meet an Inkling off stage.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's going to be...
This corner judge is good for 1, 2, yeah, he needs more. And
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Toy Boy is going to drop.
Knife him.
Right out front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting evening of Collegiate Esports right here on Esports U Live. I'll be your host, Paulie Hype, and I'm so excited to walk you through not only a summary of what we saw last night on Esports U, but also what we have in store for us this evening. But before we do, let's check out what happened last night, Monday, February 6th. It was a match from the ECAC Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, featuring 2 powerhouse teams in Northwood University versus Juanita College. The last time we saw Northwood was in the ECAC Fall 2022 final against Fisher Falcons, and they want to make sure they make it back to the finals this time around again. Northwood starter was Big Higgs, and on his signature Jigglypuff, and he rolled his way all over both Hollow and Fry from Juanita College. Big Higgs tried his hardest to make it a sweep, but with only 1 stock left, he fell to Juanita's Huggies. It was an uphill battle for Juanita to take the win, but Sensational's Sephiroth, try to say that 3 times fast, was too sensational and took game 1. Game 2, we saw Northwood's mysterious third, SGP, come into the fray, and he quickly took out the last man, Hollow, with only dropping 1 stock. Fry was soon to follow afterwards, leaving Huggies as the last man against SGP, but the Wii Fit trainers' hits were just too strong to give Northwood University the 2-0 victory in the ECAC week number 2. The week 1 just started last week. We've seen some of these matches play out as we are still in the early standings of the ECAC. However, let's talk about now this evening, February 7th, this wonderful Tuesday, as we are going to take away and step away from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and head over to the ECAC Valorant Division A, which is a Valorant skill set of Diamond to Radiant, so the top division in ECAC. Tonight at 8 p.m. EST, coming up right after this, we have 2 great universities competing against each other. In the blue corner, Stockton University, bringing their team of St. PJ, Somnus, Strat, Not Jason, and Comedic. And in the red corner, going against Saginaw Valley State University, Valorant Red. And their team comprised of 5 players: Spec, 10 Stitches, Ashton T, Apex Jesus, Slade, and Captain Mills. So that's going to be on the docket tonight. Enjoy Valorant, as it's going to be a best of 3 affair right here on Esports U Live. That's going to do it here, as we are still learning the standings in the ECAC across all the games, as we are now in week number 2 of the spring split. So without further ado, let's throw it over to the casters. Let's get hype right here, because it's Tuesday on Esports U Live, and we're bringing to you the very best in collegiate esports. Casters, over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Esports U Network. We're here for an ECAC Week 2 of 8 matchup between Stockton University and Saginaw Valley State University. We're going to get you through it. I'm Catnator. That is Ash Cast. And we've got ourselves a new patch to look at. Ash, give us the deets.
Well, the Stinger meta, it was alive and well, but now it is time to go, because it's now going to be $1,100 as far as credits go as the cost, and it's gotten that little nerf. If you guys want the specifics, I can go down the line on that. The damage fall off was increased. So now, previously it was 20 meters plus and you'd have damage fall off. Now it's 15 meters plus. So the 5-meter difference there, and a reduction in damage in general. So that's kind of sad. For a while there, Kat, we had a lot of like round 2 buy-ups. You force up to the Stinger, and it was anybody's game instead of like the typical like first 2 rounds in your pocket Valorant. But looks like we're going back to that bread and butter.
So unfortunate. The Stinger always good for one. It felt like the pros picked it up, and from there it was Stingerville for sure. Every eco you're seeing, a couple force buys, you get to see it come out. So I think this will be a good change for everybody involved. We'll see if it comes out today. In our regional, we got a couple too many Stinger kills, I'd like to say. So let's see if we can get things back to normal here in this 0-1 matchup. And we're going to look at where this one's going down. We've got some new maps that have worked into the map pool. Let's see if we get them in this map select.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Bind and Breeze are completely out, right? Lotus is now in and ends up being a pick for SVSU as well. This is not a map that we've really seen anybody been playing on as far as outside of scrims and whatnot. So I'm interested to see how it's going to pan out as map number 2.
Yeah, I'm really surprised it's not just the permaban going in, right? It's so new as a map, and I think a lot of teams really haven't figured out how to play it. Even from the sense of compositionally, we've seen the teams manage to make Harbor's curved wall look very good. That tidal wave with options onto the B site for how close some of these links are. So I'm interested in what the composition is going to look like. And it's nice that it's map number 2. So we're guaranteed to see it in this series. It's not sent away to the third map where if you get a 2-0, it doesn't come in. So that'll be interesting. Map number 1, very common. You know it, you love it. It's Ascent. You see her every day. You know exactly what that one looks like. So that'll be no funny business. And then Split, a map that you have seen before if you're familiar with Valorant. If you're new, you know, maybe you think it's a surprise. You wonder why your ranked teammates play it so well. It's because it was originally in the game. So a lot of teams know how to play Split. They know how to play it well. The only thing is that mid control, and we'll see how that one works out, especially because I think teams that have been scrimming Lotus have brought a new look to Split in terms of compositions based on what they play on that map.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I think having those two as the last, like the second and third as well, is scary because if you're not ready for the Lotus pick, it could be an easy sweep for a team who is a lot more prepared. But the fact that it wasn't an insta-ban right off the bat gives me a bit of hope that either or could come out on top.
Yeah, I think we got some QVC players here in this one too, because they took away Fracture, they took away Pearl. They didn't want to play these long-range angles. They would get up close and personal, go into Lotus into Split. I think momentum could be a big thing, but it'll start on even slates here on Ascent. So we'll jump into this map 1 for our agent selecting. See if we get anything different. I'm not expecting to, though.
Well, for map number 1, we already got some hovers going down. KJ's still that really standard pick here on Ascent. Very rarely do you see a Sentinel flexing off of the Killjoy. Sometimes for Cypher, but she can just do so much damage with the mollies that it can be hard to take away from that, especially on an attacking post plant situation, right? But otherwise, everything looks pretty standard here. Like you said, it's Ascent. There aren't very rarely any surprises.
Yeah, I mean, really, you can't get too crazy, right? We know what works. We played the map so many times. I'll ask you, Ash, what do you feel about the Astra going into the Omen? I think players have their choices when it comes to Omen one ways, but how do you feel Astra slots into the map?
I think it really depends on the play style of the team, right? Astra is going to be there if you're going to have a high amount of coordination as far as like all of your team members. But if you want your controller to be able to kind of like go off and do their own thing more so, Omen's a great pick in that sense. Definitely still obviously a team player, being able to use that paranoia to near sight to help scale up. But otherwise with Astra, you're going to be hearing like a lot of comms, usually a lot of mid-round calling from that player as well.
All right, interesting. I personally am a big Astra fan, always been. Been an Astra man since the day she came in. The day the controller nerfs came through, I still played Astra. I believed in her all the way through. So I like to see an Astra come out, but I do feel like the value is there, and I like your call as well for play styles. The early Killjoy setup going to the B site here defensively. We've got a more split default than I think what we usually see on a pistol round.
Yeah, looking to play it slow. A lot of teams, especially on Ascent, sometimes go for that kind of high gear, high pace right off the bat. But instead, taking this time to kind of learn where SVSU is actually looking to play. And first point of contact here going to be towards tree, actually, with the 0 point going out. Does find information, allows the dark cover to be thrown by SVSU, as SU continue to garner for that mid control, now looking towards arches.
That'll be the first point of contact here onto Pizza. 3 enemies in his wake. He goes deep back fountain. Look for the Shrouded Step. Does get away into Smashed Peak, but caught by Comedic when the reswing comes through. That's space into mid early, looking for that B split mid market.
Now B control nearly given up, but a fast rotation already coming out from SVSU. Managed to close out this door. Nice flick from Somnus as well. Good for 2.
One enemy remaining.
Now it's sight for the taking plant to go down here. 1v3 in this retake for SVSU.
Clean mid split so far. That split default definitely helps to grab that mid control early. That first pick on the Omen, giving them that space and pushing Smashed away. Leave Jesus, the man himself, do a 1v3. 2 low players, definitely a chance to win this one. Turtle give the info away, and St. PJ wants the swing and has got more than that. The frag will come with it. It's Stockton up 1-0 here on the pistol.
Nice clean round. Bit of information garnered for SU as well as to generally what SVSU's default is looking like. But going into now the eco round of SVSU, they're electing to play just one towards the B site, stack on a maybe even get aggressive with a Paranoia out from tree for the remaining 3 to push. But you've got Smashton all alone towards the P site, playing CT, so easily able to back off for the retake.
So early info A has come through. This one's going to the B side. Smashton, of course, has that chance to get away, as mentioned. So early knife gonna come through lane to see nothing. Stockton know they've got the chance to take this one, and they'll do just that. Already the dash out's gonna come through. Site is theirs, and we'll see if SVSU can garner anything on the retake. Remember, it is their eco, so not looking for a ton here. A couple frags, they should be satisfied.
Yeah, nice clean and easy plant. But what's nice about this is that even if SVSU can't close out the retake, are really nice positions here for exit frags. But first one to go down, Comedic now stuck here in logs.
Better man than me. I'm swinging that for everything. Gonna find 2. Caught, though, by Main. Spec gonna take that one away. Unknown getting involved. Suddenly, this one looks doable for SVSU. They started to pull themselves together. They've got a couple weapons picked up off of what is this buying team. They want to work it up towards lane. Nanoswarm early, gonna clear out that position onto Jason. Now caught by the dark cover. Somnus with it all to do the front of sight. Has picked up one on the spec. Looking for additional frags. The Slades come around, and Unknown's found a right click. A 3K for the Killjoy. An anti-eco going awry. SVSU gonna take it. Omen doesn't want the defuse. Gonna give it to the Killjoy. Can't get the extra ult door, but they get the thrifty round, so we're all good.
Huge thrifty round as well. I mean, are they going to go claim any weapons? No, definitely not. Just going to buy up.
Celebrating it in person. I'm so confused.
I don't know. They're taking a moment, you know, just grabbing a little bevy real quick. Going to get back for round 3. Don't worry about it.
Hey, all good. I mean, sometimes you got to make the pop off. Slade gets the frag to let Unknown get there to the green box of sight, able to find the right click to finish that 3K, win the round. Yeah, could have upcycled the ult just a little bit, but the round win is what really matters. SVSU gonna have a massive advantage into this one. So much so they got the operator online, and Spec has found that first pick.
Right off the bat here too, but it's an eco round here for SU, right? They don't have the bonus to carry over, and looking to creep towards tree. A big owl drone out, finds no information outside of B.
Hey, listen, Ash, I've seen teams win eco rounds.
That's true. We just saw one.
Maybe a round, maybe a round ago. Stuck on the close angle, forced away by all the utility. Shot's gonna go awry through that nebula. So everything will work its way through Gardner right now. Sight's gonna be picked up. Plant will go down. Spec shots arrive, but Jesus will be there for 2 out of scaffold. So they've called the numbers here. Just 2 players left onto the site. It should be an easy peasy retake. Spec shot still not going to be found, but Jesus, the savior yet again. A 3K made. Water turned to wine, and a flawless anti-eco is the result.
Ooh. Well done. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect, right, as well when it comes down to it. You have the weapons in hand. You don't want to lose that operator, but now SU, they're finally going to be able to have that full buy going into next. No ultimates online quite yet for the attacker side, but SU are going to have to worry about the win condition that is within Unknown Deftones lockdown. I blanked on the name of the ultimate for like 2 seconds there. So that's going to be huge. You're either going to want to take down the Killjoy right off the bat or somehow get her suppressed so that can't be thrown down to stall you out.
Oh, see what that case ends up being. Early turret's gone for B main. No one will be there. No one will be there for the dart either. So CSU will feel it's clear at the moment. Everything is tile for Stockton. Pop flash out. They've just put the get forward. Somnus thinking about playing towards this archway side. CSU have 2 around, including the operator of Spec.
Ooh. Lockdown taken out right off the bat too. So no longer a win condition for SVSU that SU have to worry about. Operator still staring down the long angle there towards arches those. So that's going to have SU rotate all the way through spawn. Strat, the one to claim space here in A main, but with all the steps being made, the stars going down, you can already see that SVSU, they're positioning themselves more so for a retake.
They are just got KO on the site. Colleen Vi gonna come through. Paranoia to give Jesus the opportunity, but nothing found. Beck will pick up an op shot before they get back behind the cover of the wall. So gonna lose the trade still throughout this round as SU take the A site. Plant's gonna come down here momentarily. We'll see what SVSU can cook up on the retake. They're already ready to go for it. They need that poke and prod, and that wall gonna come down now as well.
Just gonna have to creep out. 2 seconds until the recon is up and available, but no dash here for Spec, so no tailwind to get out with the op in case he can't land a shot.
Finds the dart. First look, doesn't find it. Sade's gonna find the frag because of that. Slade goes down. Everything now just on the scaffolding. It's got way harder for SVSU because of one whiffed off shot. They might call this one off entirely. They'll keep the two most expensive guns alive. The Odin, the Operator, they're trying to head for the hills. Might get caught by the guard and cut off though. St. PJ's got two already. Wants more to go with it in this round. Spec's looking for the shoulder peek. Not quite gonna find it. Wallbangs for the box go awry as well. No one finds anything there in terms of what is the retake. SVSU headed for the hills of the B site, trying to make this safe happen.
Just gotta run. Save everything that you can. 2-2 here, though. And taking a look at the money of SVSU, it's going to be able to be a buy-up for the entire team. Still going to see the anti-eco come through. This time, though, it will be important for Unknown to stay alive into the late round, into the potential retake if they can't hold sites. Because of the fact that after this, economy's not looking too great. Going to be a bit of a broken buy otherwise, and you don't want to lose that operator into the hands of the attackers either.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that operator, love to see it just get just a little bit more involved in terms of bolts finding their mark. Could be some big turning points in these rounds early. It's a hard one to hit. The shoulder peek through tile. Information going to be there now for Stockton where that operator is located. Creeps its way further down to mid. Nebula will be there, so no vision yet. Slade's going to take St. PJ, so no Nebulas for the rest of the round. Controller's gone for Stockton early. Real shot at this one for the defense.
Creeping up into B main though. Smashing does still have the Odin in play here, but the spike is not enough when three are swinging straight into spike down. Intro given here to SVSU, but lockdown's still in play.
Try to bowl a split. Smashing's caught out instead. Walking to the B site for Stockton. Early dart info on two. CT side strats looking for info on the rest. We'll find one into mid. She's just gonna fall towards Pizza. Paranoia now, so Strap caught out, and what is it, 1v3, trying to shoot his way out, and Slade won't let it happen. Saunders from the back of sight, hasn't found anything just yet. Jason's so low HP, and that lockdown's gonna come out for the retake. He'll cover all the back of Boathouse. These players have to leave the site. Spexop has caught one trying to make their way towards lane. They know they have to head out, no reason to peek. Can these players find anything? They break the lockdown. Somnus does. The only gonna catch a 3K. All up to Jason now. 13 HP in a 1v3 from the back of Boat. Looking for the first and can't find that one. Unknown will take it. Nanoswarm killing time. They'll jump in now, and that defuse should come through.
Yeah, just in the nick of time there. Nothing too much to worry about there for SVSU with just under 4 seconds left on the defuse. But, I mean, I do want to applaud Somnus for that push up, for being able to even take down the lockdown in that situation without getting caught out right off the bat. It did buy enough time, just not enough, and it was down to seconds. Now looking, though, over towards SU, they do have 3 ultimates available here. Blade Storm going to come out right off the bat. Then you can pair, you know, whether it's together or just staggering the KO and KJ ultimates to help you take site or hold it in the post.
Yeah. Good old combos going into this one to get them in that site and hopefully hold it on the post plan as well. This round definitely not out the wayside just yet, even though Somnus going to be playing without an actual weapon in their hands. Just the 5 knives. Got to be accurate with these. Early 0 point from the defense has not found anything as they're late to scale Gelato. Give them a chance at this one. You see the pings early. That mini-map looking towards Wine. They know they're here late, so they will take the time to clear it. Gonna wait that dark cover out as well. No info anywhere else on the map. It's a full scale, a full 5 towards A.
I love that they didn't actually commit a player there, but just force SU to use utility to clear it out. Owl Drone to go check towards site. Now locked down to come out as well, and the pop flash not able to come through due to the suppress. But it will be a 5v5 on this retake. We're going to be looking towards that KO ultimate from SU in the post point here to hold.
This might be one of the world's worst rounds to observe. It's an early retake on Null Command. Could get that Null Command for the post point as well. It's going to be all up to gunfire here. Somnus is caught early from Hell. Spams are on their way. Frag going to come forward. Specs picked up one early. That's the controller gone. St. PJ falls down towards main. Pop Flash to get the team out of scaffold. The waterfall's on its way. Unknown find one's on the flank. Strat has 2 from Generator. That fight continues on. Somnus and Blade Storm, all that's left in this one, and Slade will take down the last 2. SVSU have found themselves another round. It's 4-2, the end of the day.
with the retake play too, just allowing SU to take towards site, buying a little bit of time thanks to that dark cover, though that was deep in A main for the rotation to come through, for the pinch to actually happen, and thus we didn't see the null command that we were expecting coming out from Comedic to hold towards site. Instead, Jesus gets the chance to pop his first, and now we're looking into an eco round here for SU.
There we are. Asonymous will take a Marshall. It's sheriffs across the board everywhere else. And this was 1 day ago, Ash. How many of those are stingers?
If it was a day ago, probably a lot. I mean, it depends. Some players aren't built for the stinger, like don't feel comfortable on it. Definitely better off like just locking onto heads, but the stinger meta was nasty when it was alive and well.
See if the shot from Spec will be nasty as well. Strat's gonna catch the side of the arm there. It's a significant amount of damage. Spec lucky to still be alive in this one. 70 HP to their name. Break the shield. They'll break 70 of the white health and will be able to get away. KJ setup going to be what Stockton looks to walk to right now. They've broken the turret. That'll give info. KJ is going to be in this direction. Pretty patient about it, seeing if they can catch anything early. Recognizing on the eco, naturally at a disadvantage.
Entry power down there for SU. And another dark cover to go out here towards B main as well. Presence detected here on Comedic only. But what's tough is you already see such a heavy lean towards the B site. Looking impossible for this B take here for SU. And rotation actually going to be called off really late though. Only 30 seconds left to dash over towards A.
Yeah, I wonder how quickly SVSU read this, because the only pressure they've seen thus far has been on the B site. Noise cut this long, certainly there's got to be something going on. We'll see. Strat's going to wait. Going to play patiently. Direct towards Garden, waiting for the rest of the team to make their way out through A main. Play to hold the close angle. Vandal Hand can shut down this early initiator presence. Just 13 seconds. Worried that they don't get the site here with this spike. 10 now. You need 4 to plant. Strat will pick up 1. That's a big one to clear up Garden. Maybe a second to come with it. Plant going to start its way down now. No one kills it. It will get down, and it has a chance to play the post smash. They're going to find one early. They'll look to reset just a moment here. They've got time. Post plant established, but getting rather quickly raided upon us. The team going to make their way out towards scaffold. Double updraft hasn't found its value. Will now. St. PJ going to fall to the Bladestorm. Spec going to dash into trouble and finds the right click. A 3K for the Jet. That just leaves the Killjoy and Wine. Nato Sword pop kills the Jet. A chance of this one. A 1-on-2. Jason into Wine. First look is here. And can't take it home. Killed by the Doppelganger. SVSU yet again successful on the retake.
Well played, but almost down to the wire there. That got a little close for comfort for a moment. Luckily, we did see a lot of kills. I believe that was 3 in the hands of Spec to have that impact on the retake situation. But things did get a little bit dodgy for a moment. Regardless, I mean, SU, they did a lot of damage on their eco round, but SVSU still able to take it home, still have the money situation to buy up in full here. And Comedic still holding on to that null command that I'm hoping to see come out in this round as a huge win condition, and maybe Strat play the post plant with the Hunter's Fury.
Keep our eyes on it. Spawn wall's up yet again. Dueling 0 points going to come through. Both get info on just the one. Calls for a dark cover to be expended early. Just one in the hands of the Omen, and St. PJ might walk directly into their grass. Has done just that. Slade will pick it up early archway. The lurking Astra caught off. That smokes away from Stockton for this round. We'll see if that win condition comes out because of it, and yet it has.
Execution towards site, and all of a sudden, attackers are dwindling. Only 2 left. Both initiators here, and the plant to go down in front. Nice little shock does land some damage, but Spec straight through. Gonna earn that last kill, and Strat in a 1v4.
1v4, no one about here, sitting to hell, looking for that first 1v1 and won't be able to take it home. Will fall as SVSU have found their 3rd A-site retake in a row. So the fuse spike yet again to the front of the generator. Now they lead by 4.
You can also see how calculated the retake is towards the A site as well. They usually have someone pinching towards tree or towards A main. They're constantly leaning their efforts more towards the B side as far as just hard holding with that KJ utility. Having that confidence and knowing that their retake is probably cleaner towards the A side, which it has been. I mean, every single round win here for SVSU has been a defuse round. And now Lockdown is in play once again. And on the side of SU, I mean, they don't have too much money to work with. The Cosmic Divide is available, though.
Slow scaling for Stockton. Extra players coming towards mid as well. Caught the Omen early here. Well, the Omen caught them, I guess I should say. Won't be here this time around. Drone's going to be out early. Sound nothing B lobby. Lost respect to sneak their operator up. It's dangerous in mid right now. They do manage to break out. Jason going to take that cat opportunity. Kills the Omen of Slade and has a chance to work this angle. Spec still out of tile. Trying to find a little extra value. Trying to wall bang this kill. Zoe hasn't found it just yet. Honey's Fury going to come out into this one to get them into the A side. Allows Somnus to take Jesus from the back of Dice. Dodges his own teammates, Hunter's Fury, and they are into the site. 0 point clears nothing scaffold. They know they have room. Plant will go down. SVSU, can they retake it for a fourth time?
But look at the position of St. PJ right now. On the reflank, it does take down the alarm bot, though. So has to back up just a little bit more. And Unknown now going to have to re-clear here towards who will come out on top. It's Unknown. Lockdown available here in a 3v3 as well.
Oh, Strat. The early frag to come through on the Spec. We'll find Smashed in as well. The scaffolding retakers are gone. Lockdown's activated for Unknown, but he's got to activate the frags as well. Flash turn, Strat will find it. A 3K for the Sova in a third round for Stockton. They deny the retake.
Important round win there for SU as well, because I believe they did force up in that previous round. So otherwise, money would not have been looking too hot, but everything is going to be okay. Now SVSU has a bit of pressure on them as far as their economy goes. No super impactful ultimates on the SVSU side, so I'm still looking towards SU with those win conditions. They have the lockdown, they have that Cosmic Divide available to make the execute and the hold worthwhile.
The extra player over to the A side in this round. The SVSU defense. It's quite literally just the Sova and a turret friend over towards B. So that'll be the retake site in this round. This drone should get a significant amount of info on what this setup looks like. I see nothing but the turret, and we'll see if they want to scale this one pretty quickly off that info.
No Molly's not worry about here that are towards lane, right? There is one placed here on switch. 4-door. Lockdown. Going to be popped here, but Unknown still going to continue peeking, and okay, both now laid down here, so with due time, Molly's will be popped and stall that push onto site.
Players paranoid, they have managed to step out and stalled indeed. Strat just barely staying alive. Jason will get through, pinged there, and still alive as well. Spike will make its way. Plant is going to come down here onto the B site. SVSU just a little bit healthier for a retake opportunity.
It's always like a 5v5 or 4v5 retake too here for SVSU. The numbers doing wonders, and now St. PJ couldn't even relay info that a flank was impending. Somnus with op in hand will be watching towards lane where we're seeing 3 and a double into his hands.
Takes 2 with the op at the same time. Spec gonna send one back, and Jesus getting involved from lane. Comes down for 2. Comedic got all to do, and Spec's up. Will hit the mark, finds the body shot to win out the retake. A 5-on-4 retake seen yet again, and SVSU will be the victors. They lead by 4 yet again.
It's really just, it's the post plant, right? I mean, SVSU, they're not afraid to give up space when necessary. If they aren't confident in a hold, they're not going to take unnecessary gunfights. They're going to completely back off to retake as a team, and SU are struggling to position themselves because of the fact that SVSU are able to just do it so quickly. It's so much pressure right off the bat before the plant even starts, and you can't settle yourselves into your maybe typical post-plant situations and crossfires. You're kind of scrambling to find an answer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the way SVSU plays that round. The fact that SU, for the last 4 rounds, have been over onto the A site. They put the extra player there. They leave just the Sova, and they give that space once it comes through. Recognize how much time Stockton is taking to actually scale off the initial drone. Allows for Unknown to get back into mid door. Throw the extra KJ utility, the paranoia from Slade as well, to come down to CT to stall that push as long as it was. They never get a chance to really comfortably get set up on the post plan, as you mentioned. The one round that we see converted over in round 9. Stockton are in scaffold. They're already up garden. They're finding the early cutoff for the retake, where Strat's able to find 2 up towards scaffolding. And every other round, they're holding towards hell. They're stuck in what is main. They don't have the opportunity to hold this close, and because of that, their post plant is just so much weaker. So SVSU so confident on that retake. Of the point you bring up, and it really is shown here in the matchup. So we'll see if Stockton can get in just a little bit deeper, can hold a little bit closer, and find an opportunity to bring this to a 7-5.
I really would like to see them be a little bit disrespectful in the sense of maybe trying to push into spawn on a post plant situation. Just try to find that extra space, but now here, once again, we're seeing the aggression coming through towards B main. Owl drone not to find much, and operator revealed as well. Semi-deep. Yeah, I was gonna say like a very odd mid smoke to get like pressure towards bottom arches, but you don't find much.
I feel like this game could be a blowout if Spec hit a couple more of these off shots. But nonetheless, Jesus will find one from a main, holding what is a very difficult position right now, hoping the Killjoy from sight can be helpful. But St. PJ gonna hit a massive shot to guarantee a Vandal under control. Unknown has swung back though out of Dice to pick up 2. Caught by the bolt right now. Will get spammed through the smoke by St. PJ with his newfound Vandal, taking the toy out for good use in the party for Spec now as well, and has his number. Takes the arm out, shoots it away, and we'll have a 3K on to the round. Make it 2-on-2. Phoenix tuck the bolt. Cosmic Divide going to go up to guard off Scaffold.
2v2 situation though. Players are split as well. Comedic looking to duck into hell. Risky position because cannot trade if St. PJ needs it.
Be an interesting peek when it does come through. Waited the smoke. Slade see nothing still. They're tucked towards hell. Wall now faded. Got the chance at this one. Smoke straight onto the spike. Slade looking to start. It gets pulled away though. The Astra gonna find damage. All the util coming out. Comedic looking to swing. Has found one. Looking for the second. Slade 1v2 and caught in the blender. St. PJ will take a 4K for their troubles. It's a 4th round for Stockton.
Last round before the switch.
Really nicely played there by SU, and part of the reason why that could come to fruition too is because SVSU respected the Cosmic Divide a lot in that situation, not even trying to jump down despite having the vision from tree. But now it's going to be a broken bye here for SVSU on the last round of this half, not able to force up full. It's going to be a mishmash of rifles and eco weapons. And
smash him? Does he know? Somebody got to DM him. He'll find out. He'll find out pretty quickly. I'll see, you know, maybe he's a Stinger demon. Doesn't matter. Fall off or not.
Hey, it still goes dummy.
Okay, we'll see. We'll definitely see a quiet early round for SU. No, they're a bit disadvantaged here. Gonna see if they can get any early mistakes to capitalize off of.
Just playing slow. Little pop flash out. But for the first time, we're seeing Unknown already kind of set up here towards the A site. Never throwing down the mollies too early, usually saving them for a lineup or to stall later in case the commit doesn't come through. The turret's taken down now, and ooh, first blood.
That's
in the hands
unfortunate.
of SVSU.
Nothing like dying to an opponent that you can't see and can't see you. Spec will take it through the nebula. That's the first look converted. SU playing down a man for the retake, and talked about it before. Hard for them to hold these post plans here when they don't have the extra space. They won in this round. Can they change the tail? Okay, Ghost Shot's gonna come out. Now the swing on a scaffolding. Somna's gonna pick up one. A second to go with it. Shooting their way out of hell. Will have help as well. That hasn't been seen just yet. Jason can swing. Will pick up 2. Slade 1-on-1 now. Chance to get this one up 4 at the half, but Jason won't let it happen. A 3K for the Killjoy, saving the day from the doorway. We'll bring it within 2.
Nice little comeback after the timeout here for SU. Now only 2 away from tying things up, and we were swapping sides now too. It's a fresh look across the board here with pistols, eco, ultimates all reset. But I'm just talking about Unknown right now on the side of SVSU is having one hell of a game, 16-6 at the moment, and it's not always been like due to utility or anything like that. Like, he's just been hitting his shots today.
There's nothing like having a good Killjoy setup, but being able to do it all on the retake too. So early setups and then big retake frags. I mean, walking out with a ghost and 2 tapping against rifles is definitely something to behold. Early darts got Som this all the way up mid, but Spec has a better shot. Looking for another to go with it, but unfortunately can't have the cake and eat it too. Strat will take them down now into mid. It's going to be a firefight here. Awkward positioning. Strat from back of Fountain. And somehow, SVSU walk away with both frags. Smashed and Slade both going to take one. St. PJ with a dink and gets immediately dinked back the other way by who other than Unknown. A 1-on-4 this round about chalked.
Interesting too, because SU on the attacking side, they were slow on their pistol defaults. But on defense, completely switching gears. They're going for that early mid control right off the bat. Now it's Jason. 1v4, still doable with 2 on SVSU being super low. But with that info given, everyone's gonna swing.
Recon has the info. Bit of wall banging going on. With the pistols though, not as much damage as they'd hope. Gives Jason still a shot at this one. Turret broken now. A real confirm where these players are. Distracted by turret. Jesus with the swing. And everyone gets involved for Saguan Valley. They'll take the pistol. They lead now by 3.
Do SU buy up here? Probably not with the meta shift going on, considering that you can't get the Stingers on board, but right off the bat, what's dangerous is if Spec goes down early and that Vandal becomes recoverable for SU on their defense. They're going to be looking towards SVSU playing together here. That's why you're seeing the 5-stack. They're not looking to take any risks in that kind of set. And I think they'll just go in hot and heavy.
Yeah, this is looking like a classic contact execute. 0 points on, it's way high arc for it. I don't think it tags the Astro, but Smashing certainly has through that dark cover. So that's the first look picked up. Space opened up in SVSU. They have the advantage in terms of positioning, the advantage in terms of weaponry. Expecting them to walk away. Let's see how clean they can make it though.
Oh, I can't believe Comedic actually lived there. He only had like a couple health left, just nearly missed that shock, but Smashion's just staring down Scaffold right now, not allowing anyone on SU to take space. Another spray down allows 3K.
Yeah, if it's not my shock bolt to do it, it'll be my spray through smoke. Smashing finally getting to finish the kill on the Comedic. Recon's on its way. Not tag the players in the dark cover. Does force Jason out where he's caught by Slade. And Strat has watched his whole team die. It's your turn next, big dog. Or will you take it to the spike? Looking for something coming away in this one. Shots will go awry and the spike will take him down finally. That'll end the round. Slade fortunately falls too. A little bit of collateral damage.
Just a little late. So, I mean, the exit frag attempt did glean at least 1 player death on the side of SVSU, but still, it's going to be a really strong bonus for SVSU with that Vandal in hands here. Full loadout for the SU side. Little bit of miscalculation, having to pick up that Bulldog there for St. PJ. Once again, SVSU, they're leaning towards the A side. The question is if they go as 5 again, but with those pings towards mid, looking to split.
But they are. We just jet. Guard over tile. Nothing spotted. Nothing spotted on the recon either from B main. So that's some early info to be picked up. Somnus caught by the paranoia. Dash window activated. See what he finds going into this one. There's the smoke to confirm this is where the push is coming. Drone is going to clear first and Slade. It will have it with the Stinger. It's still active, baby.
Yes,
He's
sir.
got a Vandal picked up because of it. They've got room to work this split. SVSU still so patient on it. They haven't got the clear towards site just yet. Want to make sure they've got all their boxes checked. They will now work their way forward. The generator plants on its way. Door goes down. Positioning here for the Omen. Yeah, do they see this coming in tree? There's 3 players working their way up to break door together for the retake. Papa's thought about. There's the swing to come through. Just 1 for Slade. So cold very early. Just 1 player advantage.
Without concealment.
Nebula out as well, just to cover up towards front Jenny, but with the mollies down
Interesting.
on the ground here. Looking to
Got broken. Got
I
broken.
don't know, because Unknown is doing damage, and the crossfires aren't gonna allow much to happen there. And that was... Wait, hold on.
Yep.
It was like going one way, and then all of a sudden it was not going that way, and I didn't even get to see how we ended up to the end of the story.
You know, sometimes you walk in and you shoot the people and yeah, defuse the spike, you know?
You know that word.
You know?
Yeah, respect. You're not wrong. Sometimes that does happen. And I was just so chaotic, and then all of a sudden over, but not in the favor of who I thought it was going to be over for.
Very fair, very fair. Yeah, actually cut that door rather quickly. Alarmbot said I've got shot out, which was not helpful for containing the door side players. PJ gonna contain the mid players at the very least. It's caught Spec back with Fountain. It's created a 1-player advantage for the team down into this round as SVSU. They're reeling after it, you know? So we were gonna go mid. Do we still want to go mid, guys? And the buddy system will be on their side as they still work through this archway.
Oh, pop flash out, but Alarmbot to worry about. Now another star pull down there. So gravity well already expended here by PJ. Nobody able to capitalize off the information though. But look at where SU is all positioned. I mean, they could easily crunch.
Yeah, they're ready for this one. 0 Point gonna spot these two players out. So SVSU at least rise to it happening, but Stratton nonetheless, I don't care if you know, I'll still find two. Jason will find another from CT Stair, and the hold has been good. Somnus will finish the last. And Stockton hold very much strong into what was going to be a look down mid-market.
Nice positioning. Just playing really passive in that situation for SU to just allow... I mean, when you're sending 5 down arches in that kind of fashion, you have to get out fast.
Yeah.
Or you have to take time and have at least one person positioned somewhere else giving you information. Otherwise, the defenders are going to know exactly where you are. They're just going to wrap around you, and now we're going to see your standard push towards the B side, the look towards the mid, but the remainder of the team on SVSU will be in towards the main. Nice delay with the dark covers, with the shock darts as well, but the dash onto site alone untradeable.
See if we're able to at least put this Jet's death to use the rest of the round. Spike's gonna fall. The strats and PJ will pick up one, and it is just a Stockton show on the inside eco. I mean, we'll find the last. It's one round that separates the two teams to a tied scoreline.
Looking towards the buy-up now here for SVSU. I want to see a bit of a change in positioning here for the most part. I mean, especially on their ecos, which makes sense, but even on some of their buys, they've gone for generally like 4-1 or all 5 pushes. And look at this read coming out from Somnus. SVSU, they're leaning back towards the A site, which is the only place that they found success. Now Somnus has that off in hand.
I'm sweating. Still gonna be close to get him out. Dash away, hasn't found the first. They still want to expend the star. They use the Cloudburst instead. So you're gonna keep those stars up and at them. And the thing about Asher's always, you only got 4 to work with. You could spend them quickly, and then what are you gonna do? And they still, just now, are gonna put that thing activated. Pull will come through. They've stalled the push pretty well thus far.
Really nice fragments to delay that time, that push in. It'll be a 5v5 retake towards the A site. We saw SVSU with so much success on the retakes towards A. Let's see if they can hold.
Comedic definitely seems like they might be aware of the antics of Spec here towards Cap. See how deep they get in this clear. Your point will tell the story. Are they aware of it? We've got the null command to walk into sight here for the retake. Yeah, you're right. They do not know. Ashcast, is there an opportunity here for Spec? Kamik's found one. Spec from door. There's the first. Everything on site will get on the dodge line. The A main players get involved. Unknown falls now. And Spec with it all to do. Found the first. They find another. They just cannot. The Sova has come through and found a 3K. They'll get the KO back alive. That rifle's coming forward in the next round as well. And things are all tied up.
Ooh, that was so awkward, and partially due to the dark cover that was thrown out towards tree, right? So no clear line of sight for that reflank to come out, and now SVSU, they're calling a timeout here. I did like the look from SVSU, the adjustments that they made to have success on that site take. I like the positioning of Spec as well towards Cat. I just think that the timing was a little bit off. SU, especially with that null command in hand, had a huge win condition and advantage on that retaking round. But now I'm looking towards SVSU, switching things up, maybe going more for a default, finding that information, because for SU right now, they haven't really had that pressure about worrying about a flank or worrying about SVSU playing like slow and for info.
Yeah, very true. See a light bike come out of this round. Significant ults to work with for SVSU, but it takes a lot to really be willing to thrust those forward into this one. Momentum definitely in the Stockton camp, so good timing for the timeout at the very least. 4 rounds in a row is definitely nothing to scoff at, I'd say. Definitely time to consider, you know, maybe the problem is me this whole time. Maybe I gotta get myself together. So we'll see what they've discussed in a minute's time. Discussed a couple stingers and possibly a B-rush.
Possibly. I think what I'm looking for here is Jesus going to grab that B main orb if possible. With the lean towards mid, I don't think it's going to happen. But just to have it at least one notch closer to being online in the next round if he survives somehow through here, right?
I was going to say, probably active if he does grab because
yeah, exactly.
short-sighted to live in this round for sure. Alarm bots will spot Spec. Graphics Fended to get out of the gravity well. A lot of Util killed early mid. A chance for this split as they start to work farther into B. Spec's got space in mid-market. So PJ's still going to hold strong on the angle, though. Smashes across. Jesus finds one with a stinger. And from far away. Damage fall off to be darned. That's the first opportunity. A chance to get into this one. Just one player back of the side. It's just the killjoy of Jason. And he's fallen to a ghost. A 2-tap from unknown going to be the difference. That's another rifle picked up for Sagwan Valley. Real chance they win this one. Comedic going to be here on the flank along with Strat CT. They both found themselves 2. Make this one a 3-on-3. A low Sagwan Valley, but they've made it to the post plant. They made it farther than we thought they would in this eco round.
Wait! Annihilated! That is so sad. Absolutely tragic. And Comedic is on a tear. Back candle in hand. Can't close it out. A 4K here for Comedic on the retake. And SU, they earn double digits.
Well, for an eco, Sagwan Valley made the take look pretty good. Unfortunately, Comedic made the retake look that much better.
I think part of the reason why it worked out for SVSU, not only just because of the frags that came through, but previously when they tried to take B with that really aggressive mid-take, it was, I believe, 4 or 5 of them. So this time positioning themselves a little bit differently, having 2 towards B main to have that late pressure kind of catch SU off guard, and hoping that that conditioning was done from the previous time. But now, as we move into this next round here, it's full buy across the board here for SVSU. They've got an operator on the attacking side here in hand of Spec as well.
Right here.
But this is almost a must-win round here for SVSU before they're pushed onto another eco and at risk of that match point.
Yeah. Pressure on in this one. Couple ults on as well. See, they can utilize them to get themselves this round win, get things back to tie, and get just a little bit of that weight on the shoulders lifted, even for just a couple moments. A very slow round. You can definitely feel the tension for both sides and how impactful this round could be to the end of the game.
Presence detected though. Still just like slow contacts up, right? Falls back with the operator. Spec now going for tree. Close angles to clear with the op. Tailwind is here. Manages to find one.
Okay.
First blood into the hands of SVSU as they rotate towards mid, but B door was closed.
Always interesting to see what the attacking operator can bring to the table. Brought the first pick in this round for SVSU. See where they go from there. They've broken drone mid. That gives indication that that is going to be where the op is right now, but that's about 10-15 seconds ago in the round. Now no info for Stockton. You see how passively they play right now. They do put the Killjoy pretty deep. The CT stare. Same thing now with the Sova. Looking for this B split. Alarm bot will get activated. Players will move. Can Stockton hold this?
Now regrouping here towards main. That's for a fake from the shadows out. And I'm actually, where is he going on the map?
I don't know.
I'm going to focus more on sight.
They forgot the spike, bro. They forgot the spike. The round's over.
They didn't forget it. He died.
Oh! Wait, what did he die to?
I don't know. I think it was knives. I think it was an updraft knives, maybe. Kind of situation.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. I was kind of confused.
I full missed that. I thought they legitimately just left it.
I'm not gonna lie. I was full on watching Omen dance around the map, and I was like, he can't ult in this many places. Where is this man going? That's what was going on in my brain right there.
Well, a bit anticlimactic, unfortunately. SVSU a choice to make now. Do we stare overtime in the face and fall by next round? Or do we buy what we can in this round, and if we lose this one, the game's probably over? It's
a tough call to make, but sounds like, or looks like, They're deciding to make their bed and lay in it. It will be that full buy up, a big risk if this round isn't secured here for SVSU. And for one of the first times ever, we're seeing like a proper default coming out from SVSU's side. Regrouping here now towards A main, but they've got the Astra utility waiting. Comedic has the fragment in hand to stall out if needed as well. And dark cover is being laid down for a late reflank towards mid on the Omen.
A little jumpy, Stockton defense. Astra util already gone. Fragment's gone too. Well, Command's going to come through on this A site. Still no scale for SVSU just yet, but they have waited all the utility, so it should be a pretty much walk in, unless St. PJ has something to say about it. He does. Going to pick up one spec of trade back. Still from Generator, though, is the Astra to find a second. Gonna shut down the KO and the Jet. A three-piece now for St. PJ, wanting to get this game wrapped up. Gonna swing out for a fourth, and we'll have it. A chance at the ace as Slade's come through. Cat, he's looking for it all. Shut down, though, by Slade. He'll play spoiler. Shot and step away from Strat. Now gotta find the frag back in and can't quite do so. It'll be the trade from the Sova and match point for Stockton University.
Match point.
Match point, 3 rounds for SVSU to bring it back. Swapping sides here, SVSU were only able to secure the first 2, pistol and their anti-eco. Since rifles have come into play, since the op has come out, SU's holds and retakes have been really difficult for SVSU to get through. And now we're going back to that typical 4-1 split. You've got Smashchin up here towards Cat. As I say that, Spike actually travels over, so 2-3, still looking for heavy mid neutral.
Saguan Valley have bought 3 Bulldogs, but does the roster have that dog in them to keep this game alive? Early alarm bot, information is going to be there. St. PJ has to back away, though, because a fragment grenade will land at his feet. They've gotten into mid-market, but now they have to get out of mid-market. The second task on its way. Gravity Well going to stall for quite a bit of time. Stockton is here. They are ready to go. Saguan Valley have to shoot their way out of this one.
It's going to be a lot of gunfights and so much pressure. The question is can the reflect come in time? It's not going to come out, though. And Smashchin with the Hunter's Fury manages to whittle down the defense, but Jason's still hiding.
No.
And Spike in his hands now.
No, not like this. Jason Rath so long. Boathouse has picked up 1. Can he find the last 3 to close out map number 1 here of Ascent? Shockbolt will not find him. All 3 players looking to swing simultaneously, and Spec will take the lower angle, crouches under the crosshair and finds the frag. SVSU have taken themselves another round. They've brought it within 2.
A nice momentum booster there too, right? I mean, to stop the bleeding finally after SU had garnered 7 rounds in a row for themselves. Buy up able to come through as well for SVSU's hands, but still 2 rounds to go. You have to continue on with that momentum to take it all the way into overtime. And on the sides of SU, I mean, they have 2 perfect ults there for a combination on the retake. You've got that Cosmic Divide. You've got that lockdown. If SU, they play for the retake in this situation, all should be set for.
Levy lobby control for Stockton. SVSU, quick reactionary offense, gonna look to play towards Garden instead. Hot flash forward for Spec. Taking space, the fragment will catch Comedic. This puts him into trouble. He'll die to Jesus there. It's an opening to the A site. Saguan Valley, one that they're going to take. The plant's going to come down here momentarily. A couple retake ultimates for Stockton to work this one back in.
Spike planted.
Spike initiated here. A little bit of a delay on that retake, though, because St. PJ can't pull out that Cosmic Divide quite yet. Lockdown will go down first, and a hard clear out towards Catwalk, just in case. But look at Slade now running down. They cleared it out, but they're not ready.
Spec picks up 2 on the flank, just jumping down into scaffolding. Knows he'll fall, but so worthwhile. Everyone off A main, though they don't know he's on the spike. He holds on to it. He gets it through the wall. Nobody swings it. The dart is way too late. Wouldn't have killed him anyway. And Stockton will take it, just holding the defuse.
2v4 situation. 2v4 situation and heartbreak there for map number 1. It's tough, though, because with that Cosmic Divide, I mean, you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
But at that point, you kind of just have to have somebody either like swing through, use util if you have it. I like the idea of that reflank towards Cat, but without the sound cues, without being able to actually know, it was a big risk and unfortunately did not pay off.
Yeah. You don't have a sound cue, but you do have something in your brain called intuition. It's been that long. Probably on the spike. Not gonna lie. So Stockton will take their map pick off of what is a pseudo ninja diffuse. I don't know if you want to call it that or not, but Astral Divide was certainly out of this world. When we come back from break, map 2 will be as well. Lotus up next. Don't go anywhere.
Off stage like that.
That bomb angle
is so good today.
Yeah, that bomb angle was beautiful.
Week 4 of ECAC Rocket League was absolutely insane. CMU and FC were tied up 0-0, but it was Gand who told FC they shall not pass game number 2.
Side of FC, they've only got one player for a moment there. They're trying to recollect, they're trying to reposition, but how do you position around a pinpoint accurate shot like this? Gand goes crossbar down for the first goal.
Adams in reverse, backed the defense off with that.
Whenever I'm on the mic for Valorant, you'll often hear the line, check your corners, repeated over and over and over again. And even with me not on the mic to tell them, I have a feeling this team may have learned that lesson.
Nah, he's got to take the shot.
Take it.
Oh yeah, sounds of teammates running on through and come on, dive! The 4K on a completely unaware trio. And it's 11-0 right now.
And those are the top 8 moments we thought deserved just a little bit more time in the spotlight of week number 4 here at ECAC. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in what ECAC has going on, we got something happening nearly every day of the week. So check us out right here. Editor, it's a challenge for you. Wink, wink. And folks, this has been all from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy this, and we've got plenty of weeks down the line. Can't wait to see what comes of them.
And there's so many other jobs as well that can translate out of this experience in esports. The only path is not just as a player. I think all of us are representative of jobs in esports, but it mirrors traditional sports in pretty much the same way. You've got, broadcasters, you've got production people, you've got marketing and sales, and now NIL and things like that. But really, esports is kind of a great accelerator for a lot of new businesses that are coming up in the metaverse and Web3, and there's a lot of new technology that is going to be needed. And so these STEM students that are also esports athletes are really the future workforce and leaders of tomorrow. And us, as well as all of our brand partners that we work with, really recognize this. And I think that's really, a key driver of why brands are in this space. They want to be part of building that future workforce and leadership and shaping it and supporting it. So, yeah, it's been a very interesting space to watch.
And we offer such a big, we offer such a big counterpart to traditional sports also, because it's a counterpart, but it's also the same, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you're traditional sports and they're done after their 2-a-day workout and they're done after their practice scrim, they're coming home to play Call of Duty and relax and put their feet up and get a drink and play video games. It grows their brain, problem-solving skills, and their hand-eye coordination while they're home. Hand-eye coordination, if you're a football player, massive skill. So it helps build those things while they're off the field. And then for us, vice versa, if you're an esports athlete, one of the errors I had growing up when I was competing in esports is that I was not active enough. I played sports, I competed a little bit, but I wasn't active enough truly when I look at it. So that's one area that esports players can learn from in terms of activity and physical and the marrying of both. People say, oh, sports and esports, video games. Not really. We're just kind of the tech industry's competitive form of competition, as to where traditional sports are more physical, hands-on. So I believe in the marrying of these two sectors and that they actually live together while also being counterparts.
Well, I think then to speak to something about marrying, right, from traditional to esports, that to me speaks to this whole new thing. At least, again, from you guys, right? You guys have more traditional sports background, right? Paulie, Mike, and all of that. But I think let's talk NIL then, because I think that's something that I think is really interesting. That at least when I heard about it, right, of what we're trying to do with, you know, esports athletes, schools, programs in general. Because it wasn't something you would think normally, right? You could understand, right? Football player on the field, star quarterback. It makes sense, right? The guy is somebody that everybody knows on campus, whether you're on the team, off the team, or you're just going to the school. It makes sense. But I think, you know, nowadays it's not as common, or people don't think that they could be somebody that their name is out there, right? Or that they're known, right? As we're growing this space, as we're putting this together, it almost feels really interesting that, you know, your star entry in Valorant, or your star forward on Rocket League, right? Whatever the case might be, now they can have NIL deals. It's a thing out there, and I think, I don't know, maybe Mike, you want to start off, but
I think thank you for teeing that up. So I was talking for too long. I forgot to bring NIL into the mix, so it's a common occurrence, occupational hazard. So I would say that so NIL for I'm sure most of you watching understand what it is, but NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness, that term has been utilized to describe the transition of traditional student athletes, NCAA athletes, and their ability to monetize their name, image, and likeness. It went live July 1st, 2021, and it has continued over the course of the last nearly 14 months now. It's an interesting term because it's been co-opted to describe the NCAA's approach to student athletes being able to make endorsement money or be able to monetize any part of their name, image, and likeness. But it's been around forever, right? We've had athletes endorsing brands for over 100 years. Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees was endorsing brands 100 years ago, and it has continued onward from baseball cards all the way through now, where we have lots of different integrations of how influencers can monetize their followings. So what I would say on the traditional side is it's still a very young space. There are a lot of stories out there regarding NIL that tend to focus on the negative, or how out of control, I put in air quotes, it has gotten. But there is still a burgeoning marketplace for many more student athletes that are involved. About 17% of NCAA athletes are currently involved in NIL, but 65% more than that want to get involved and are curious how to get started. On the flip side, brands are challenged with a few different things in the space. There are 10,000 professional athletes in the United States. Once July 1st, 2021 hit, and you dump every NCAA athlete into that space, that's another 500,000. So brands that maybe didn't have a dedicated athlete strategy when there were 10,000 now have 500,000 plus that 10,000 to figure out how to activate who they are. That's a lot. I understand brands' hesitancy in some instances, but I can tell you that companies like us are on a daily basis educating brands and student athletes as to the software you can use, the types of activations you can get involved in, and how to utilize your followings, or if you don't have to or want to be a social media star, other ways in which you can monetize it. Now, I know I described that under the umbrella of the NCAA, but I see it as being no different in esports. I think there are massive opportunities for people with followings to be able to use that and connect with brands. I think a company like us can help you to do that. And then beyond that, we can make sure that those transactions are safe for you. I think there are opportunities, not just at the individual competitor level, but at the program level to have a sponsorship go to that. I'm sure some of you out there listening and watching already have deals like that in place, but I think we can continue to enhance, augment those deals and make them more comprehensive and make them, first of all, I think product deals are perfectly fine, but I think we can get beyond that and grow some of these deals to a greater extent. Paulie, thoughts on that?
Yeah, what you said is right. So I'll put it in for layman's terms here for just the esports players, because I talk to so many of our athletes that compete in our CECC series that are currently still in college. And basically when Mike Blewett says NIL, what he's referring to is just very simple. If a brand or any sort of anyone wants to use your school's name or your brand or anything with you, there is a deal for you that can be put in place, whether it's product deal, whether it's a paid endorsement. You can, whether you're a macro influencer or whether you're a micro influencer, you can be paid for your services. So most of the people, when I talk to them, I won't say people, college athletes, they are, intimidated by the word. They don't really know what it means. They've never done anything with it before. And that's what it means. Any single time a brand or anyone at all wants to use your name or do a deal with you or do some sort of activation with you or your school, that's basically what the layman's terms, the NIL meaning comes from. And it's evolving in this space. There are so many brands that want to associate with micro and macro influencers and just get people involved with their products or their services. So all of you, collegiate athletes out there that are competing in esports, not only are we trying to broker.
Welcome back, everybody, to week 2 of the ECAC. I'm Ash, and I'm joined here by Catinator and Cat. We just saw a huge comeback coming out from Stockton on their map pick over on Ascent, 13-9 after ending the first half 7-5. There for SVSU. Now we're moving on to map number 2, and that's going to be Lotus. An interesting pick because it'll be one of our first looks in a competitive matchup for this new map.
Yeah, we've got to see a lot of collegiate teams throw this into the permaban. It's the newest map. That makes sense, but that is not going to be the case here. Sigma Valley want to make it happen, and hey, well, I'm one to see it. I'm excited. I'm interested, and I'm curious what the compositions are going to look like. I think there's a lot of options on Lotus. We talked about this like 3 seconds ago before we got live on the cameras. Is what we think we're going to see. Now, before we jump into agent select, let's take a second, to run our comps in. Now, I want to steal off of you, so you have to go first.
You have to. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll go first because I'll be the original one then. But I think as far as like a core would go, I think that Cypher for the Senti is huge. I mean, KJ is good as well, but when it comes down to it, Cypher is just so much more flexible with his utility. And then we were talking a bit about like the Harbor and Breach. Big agree. I will give you the credit there on you bringing that one up. But I definitely agree with you that the Initiator on Breach, so much stall potential, especially through A main, which is so long. Harbor, a big one with his smokes. But I think that the other controller option would be Astra is a great pick here on this map as well.
So we're playing double controller, Cypher, Harbor, and then Breach. Ash,
and then,
fifth.
What's up?
You need one more.
Oh, you want me to give the whole...
Yeah, your short one.
Well, actually, I don't know. I wouldn't do double control. I was saying that you could either go.
Options. Okay. My fault.
I think double initiator is stronger on this map, personally. But if you're writing the Cypher 2, you have the cyber cages. But Raze is usually the mainstay duelist aside from Jet. But I think that Raze gets a lot more value because of the close quarters. Sites are really small.
Okay. Listed like half the agent, but I'm gonna let it slide.
Whatever.
All right, so here's my comp. Here's my comp. Hopefully it's a stream delay so it doesn't get stolen because, it's going to be the best comp, without a doubt.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm running double controller. I don't care what you say. There's a lot of corners, and the best way to not get shot is to not get seen. So I'm running a Harbor. I think the tidal wave is just goated on a map like Lotus. You hit the shoot on the B site, suddenly everything's covered. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you hit the shoot for the one time. I'm running the Omen. I like the rechargeable smokes. I like the paranoia. I like to go through door and have them not see me. You know what I mean? So I'm running double controller. I'm running Harbor Omen combination. I'm running double initiator on top of it. I don't care what you say. It works. It's going to look good. The Breach, of course. The Breach is actually crazy potential on this map because a flash hits basically everything, and there's so many walls, and you're throwing the flashpoint through the wall, so it just works. Ult covers basically the whole site as well.
Cat? Well, Cat's gone, so I don't know what's going on with that, man. Unfortunate considering the fact that I guess maybe production just didn't agree with his take there. I'm just joking. There's a little connection issue here. He'll be back soon, hopefully. But I definitely agree with some of those picks there. I think Breach specifically is really great for a main control here on Lotus, whether you're attacking or defending. The fault line just is so long that you can stall out any push towards a main, or just stun whoever's holding towards like the stairs side, right, if they're peeking aggressively. And then I'm just double checking that we will be seeing Cat soon. He's gonna have to do a little bit of a reset there, but yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be really interesting. I think that there's a lot of potential with any comps here on Lotus because it's so new that it's gonna be a while before we figure out a meta, especially being like the second map with 3 sites and whatnot, but the rotations being so much faster than Haven, thanks to like the doors that are both breakable and the rotatable ones. You can see a lot of teams going for like heavy C presence, and then sometimes they'll just like flip the switch and like head straight into B to catch you off guard, or the other way around. But we are going to be heading over towards Agent Select super soon, so we won't have to wait too much longer to actually find out what these teams are going to be running. And I'm excited because I think the fact that neither of them had it as their first bans off the bat, both should have like really nice potential for great team comps and having the scrims under their belt. But yeah, we are vibing and we are going to figure out what is going on very, very shortly. I'm looking forward to it though, for sure. But yeah, I'm stalling at this point. I gotta be real with you guys, and I appreciate you all also just throwing me a bit of a boon here as we are waiting for Cat to reconnect. But Agent Select is finally impending, and we've got Cat's little react face up here to help me out. But right off the bat, we're going to see Stockton University. They've got their hovers already down pat. You've got that Harbor pick that we were talking about previously. I love Strat being on that raise as well. I think that as far as duelist goes, Jet obviously always has great entry power. She's such a flexible duelist. But with all the close quarters, I think that the paint shells just have so much potential as far as being able to dole out damage, the showstopper as well as blast packing in and whatnot. And then you've got the KJ picks. I think that even though I said Cypher was a bit of a stronger pick purely because of the amount of reach that he can have and the flexibility in moving around, but those mollies also do so much to stall. And most typically you'll see those KJs playing towards C and B side, left side of the map, allowing the rest of their team, especially with initiator utility, to grab that info over towards A, because on C site you can only enter from one part, so you can just lock down that choke point. And if you want to be a little bit more spread out instead of just like solo holding C, throw down an alarm bot or a turret there towards B for that extra coverage. But we'll see how both of these teams like to play it out. I personally haven't seen any A site holds for a KJ that I've been a big fan of, but we also have this lovely cinematic that Esports U has put together as far as checking out this map, which is absolutely stunning. This is probably my favorite map as far as like visuals go within Valorant, because the artists just put so much effort into the landscaping. It's just gorgeous, and I'm really excited to see, I don't know, just gameplay on this map as well. Get some more views, get some more really cool free cams, and we're just about ready to hop in. And off the bat, we're seeing that solo hold with the KJ towards C site from SU off, and a really fast rotation off a default being pulled over from SVSU towards C. Welcome back, Cat.
Was my take that bad? Was my comp that bad, Ash? I got straight DDoS by Twitch chat. They hated it that much?
I totally don't have a hot
Come
take
on.
DDoS you. I don't know what you're talking about.
See, that's actually crazy behavior. SVSU trying to DDoS their way into the C side. They've done so pretty effectively. Denied all of SU early, as they'll try to find their way back into this one. Their own tidal wave works against them, quite ironically. Early flash to come in for this retake. Pond has information on Unknown, who's stuck in the corner trying to rat a bit. It's been caught by the swing. Slade will catch 2 off camera, though, to keep the advantage in their favor. SVSU a 4-on-2 for the post. Both players will walk their way towards the back end of Dune. Nothing found on the peak. Now the top of sight. Gonna look to tap this spike and get a couple players out. Slade has caught the head, has caught the frag at 3K. Looking for the 4th. Can't find it on the concussed Somnus, who stays alive. Looking to get this thing to half. Put your head on the ground. They still get you through the wall. Spec will take it home. SVSU take the pistol 1-0.
It's so hard to retake on C as the defenders. I mean, unless you have some sort of numbers advantage to fall back on, if you're caught in a 1v, anything more than a 1v1 situation, basically, if it's planted on that default spot, you're kind of screwed from all angles. You know, wall bangable, everything, nothing to hide from. But now SVSU, they've got this buy up. They're looking towards the default once again, find that information. Meanwhile, on the SU side, you can see the fault line's already primed and ready there for A long to delay as SU looking to get aggressive towards Rebel. We may have lost Cat once again, but we are going to see the Owl drone out towards site here. Aftershock in towards CT as well. C site completely free for the taking. SU instead playing that retake. Already the flank to come in, but Unknown waiting for it. Shuts down right off the bat. Now just gotta play the post plant here. SU, everyone coming in here from CT. You've got the fault line to work with, but no information to be garnered with utility for SU. Nanoswarms thrown down towards site as well. Should be a nice and easy post-plant hold here for SVSU. It's about doing damage here on the side of SU, trying to get some guns out of the hands of SVSU. The double swing from Jesus, though, does shut things down. And a clean 2-0 here for SVSU, and now SU finally onto the eco. Gonna see that full buy up with rifles in hand. And to give you guys a bit of an update, we are going to be seeing Cat back soon, so please bear with me a little bit longer as I have to solo cast this out. Now SVSU though, they are looking towards the A side, and look at how heavily SU are actually leaning there. They do have a solo hold here on B from Jason. Playing that link, able to get out really quick if necessary, just going for the fault line. And Specs already revealed here, all the way pushed up towards Rubble. Looking to open doors as well. Thomas playing the tight angle. It's a double swing as well. A trade for a trade though. Kill for a kill. The late work from the Killjoy on the side of SVSU. Was looking towards B as Sebastian tries to continue to push through door here. Blast packs to delay. And all of a sudden though, Spike all alone, having to tuck into that smoke, and Unknown able to get the drop on the lurk. But do we see a rotation being called, or is SVSU just going to still continue to commit onto A? Scaled up so far, so much information given. Spike initiated. And welcome back, Cat, just in time.
Dude, thank you so much. This is actually crazy. Shot for the retake. Currently on Overlook, nothing spotted. SVSU disciplined enough for the post plant not to give anything. Cascade gonna cover off the door angle. SVSU will sit behind the wall of water. Slade looking to step forward. Is found one, traded quickly by Strat. Continuation of the retake. Staying a chance to find a double. We'll find it. Just left for Unknown. A one-on-one. A chance to make this retake. Down a man. Look winnable. Nanoswarm pop behind. Looking for the contact on the fight and won't find it. A 3K has been had for Unknown in a third round in a row for SVSU.
Huge for SVSU as well. I mean, no money to work with here on the SU side. Having to force into an eco again. And you've got that lockdown now available for the next rifling round. As long as things don't go awry here, but SU, even with, I mean, that was the buy round, so I can't really say too much there. But it's tough. I mean, SU, they're having a hard time. They lost out a lot of weapons, and now looking to get super aggressive here towards A, farther than they had previously. Why the knife out?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. She's just gonna find one off camera, so SVSU gonna find momentum out of Dune. And we go towards this C site. KJ setup gonna cover all the back to site ramp options. She'll look to swing now. Beautiful camera. Compass this shorty frag that could be on its way. Oh, so close, but not quite. Jesus, take the backside right away. SVSU looking to confidently win another round.
Just playing the aftershocks here for Jason. Potential to stall out that plant. Might be a little too late though, and it does get secured and no one to fall because of it. Still 3v5 on this retake for us.
Confident post plant hold here. Two players gonna walk up through this view link. Haunt's been tucked. Spec will hold the corner. Tucks a flash, but caught by the shotguns. Strats Bucky gonna take him away. That's a Vandal picked up. This retake could still be doable. Everybody tucked towards the dune. Bolt's got info on Strats off of sight. Spam's on its way. The firing squad making sure the spike can't get caught in the corner of sight. Jesus will take a third. Jason 2 back with the Sheriff. Looking for more with the Vandal, but Slade will find the last 2. It's 4 in a row for Seguin Valley.
This has got to feel good for SVSU, especially how Ascent closed off with that just running comeback from Stockton. You would think that, okay, some teams might get mentally drained after that. You know, their endurance dwindles a little bit, the mental dwindles a little bit, but SVSU, they're holding it together. This is also their map pick, and I feel like it's showing in this situation how confident they are on this map with the 4-0 here. SU, they need to get around in now.
Base shell broken. Or expended, I should say. Kind of breaks itself. It's a grenade. Deny the early root push, but SVSU playing incredibly patient in this round, and why wouldn't they? They know how much control they have over the game, how they have every round thus far. For Shock to now clear root late, and they've been able to scale efficiently. Burst to send them across. So they'd like to go towards the door angle, and that's where the jet will be for the moment being. Dark cover going to clear up farther, so start to scale towards A, but simultaneously be working up towards the middle of the map, up towards B, and a look towards C side as well. They've got early map control, players expended all over. They can kind of go where they please right now.
Yeah, just kind of hanging out, vibing. I mean, C-Site completely locked down by that KJ util right now. SVSU, they're looking for some information, but SU not going to give anything away. What does worry me a little bit are the solo plays here towards the A site. I mean, if someone does push through door, Somnus is in a one-and-done angle, would have to rely on that frag.
30 seconds left.
Luckily for SU, it's not going to be the way it goes. Instead, we're going to see the Harbor ultimate coming out right off the bat here towards B. Now, rolling Thunder out for that A-take. Spec got caught up in it.
Yeah, caught up and then caught by Strat afterwards. Showstopper might grab another AoE, but the shrouded step from Slade will get out of dodge, will get out of danger. Not for much longer, though. The Ray's finally going to finish that one, and the spike will get puppy guarded by everybody on Stockton's roster. Unknown will see the exit frags are in their future. They have the money for the rebuy if they want to look for the opportunity, but won't swing too far out of this one. So Vandal will come out the round, but Stockton will walk away the victor.
Like I mentioned, that was a really important round for Stockton to win, right? I mean, their money wasn't looking so great. If they lose that out, they continue on in that back and forth, like can't buy, gotta save, can buy, not winning the round situation where you're going back and forth. But this adds that extra cushion that Stockton needed. Getting that first round on the board here, and then SVSU. I mean, Stockton's been making the rounds expensive. Despite the 4-round lead, they weren't able to actually buy up in full in this coming one, instead having to save, or half buy at the very least.
Half buy at the least, and scale towards C in the full for Seguin Valley into this round. KJ setup remains unchanged up here towards C. Spec has gone up over it, or not quite, doesn't land on the box, so we'll catch the alarm bot, we'll catch a bit of damage as well. Nano Swarm, just a couple chips. I mean, they're gonna chip away at Jesus. That's the first frag converted for the defense. A second now picked up for St. PJ, guarding that ramp angle. Smashing gonna fall. 2 on the flank, so time runs short. Seguin Valley don't know about it just yet. They've got a flank of their own. The Omen onto the B site. We'll see if we can find its value as they try to play away now, straight into the jaws of Somnus and Strat. They found the first one. So he's gonna get 1 on the flank before Somnus takes their other teammate away. It's a 1-on-4. It's a Stinger in hand, or a Vandal now. Not much more to be expected out of this round.
Yeah, you can hear the steps as well. Shot fired towards door, though, does give that information, but in this situation, Slade. 30 seconds left in a 1v4. Unlikely to come out on top. So just looking for some picks. Whittle down that money situation of SU if possible. I'm just going to creep in, look for contact.
10 seconds left.
Contact just yet. It'll be the first look towards Strat. Back sight. Both players shooting. Neither player quite finding the mark for the frag. This player recognize. He's got one more shot at it. We'll take down.
Rifle survives into the next round, though, at the very least. And unfortunately, mid-sentence, it seems like we have lost Cat again, but when it comes down to it, we do have two ultimates to look towards SVSU with here. There is going to be that lockdown available. You've got the Hunter's Fury as well. Hunter's Fury could be really nice for A, just to completely zone off that stairs angle, but also makes it difficult for your team to push towards that choke. Quick shrouded step over from Slade towards Rubble. A nice paranoia thrown out as well. Doors pressure not being given quite yet, but the stairs smoke does come through. The Prowler nearly misses there. Can't find that information, but it just double swings that SU are playing for here towards the A site. And SVSU, I mean, huge coming out from SU with this stall, but we are going to see it go down to a 3v3 situation regardless. Lockdown being thrown down here in tree just to delay the pushback in. Stall any early pressure out from SU's retake. With spike planted now, you've got two playing here towards the tree side. One just underneath the drop waiting. We're going to see that flashpoint go out. Rolling Thunder to come through here from SU as well, but Spec not caught in it. Able to get one updraft up onto Heaven as well to dodge, but St. PJ is around the corner to equalize. Comedic will be caught out with the turret though. Now St. PJ has to swing, but Jesus, good for both. A 5v2 situation. And SVSU, they continue to find success on the attacking rounds. But to bring it back to earth, we are going to see SU, they do afford another buy-up in this situation. They also have the Nightfall to work with here on the SU side. I think SVSU, they, with the early conditioning that was done, have a lot of pressure from unknowns lurks as well as Slades, so the SU is kind of always hesitant to rotate off really early. Really fast nade to come out though, and crowded step to Rubble again for Slade to get out of that. Flashpoint up and contact being made. Somnus, not enough time to get out. And that zoning Hunter's Fury does find a bit of a mark to push anyone off of stairs here. And Unknown, once again, with those lurks, always good for one. SVSU, they're finding themselves in a man advantage here. Unknown able to catch another on the rotation. And falling back as well, just kind of delaying, but an open plant, uncovered. Strat, not quite enough to shut it down before the plant succeeds. And it might just be a save round here for SU, but no, I lied. They're actually going to rotate over. Now, yeah, okay, it's going to be a save. For a second there, I was like, are they really going to go towards Heaven for this? You know, both members being super weak. Money situation not looking too hot. So SVSU, they get to run away with another, but Unknown lurking around the corner might have potential for one more lurk kill. But SU, they're playing it quiet, they're playing it chill, and Strat is actually the one to find Unknown instead. So 3k there, but unfortunately not a round win as SVSU do secure that 6th run on the board. But we are going to see now the buy-up coming through once again. And we've actually got a bit of a sub in here. Subtilance.
Hey! I'm doing all right. A bit of a sub in and not even in the game. But luckily enough, I was around and I'm happy to hang out here with you, Ash. Looks like I'm joining in a lot of confusion, but I'm going to learn a lot of things considering I've also never cast this map before. So it's going to be a night of a whole lot of firsts.
Hey, I appreciate you joining me. Honestly, I was getting really tired of talking to myself.
I thought it sounded great, personally. I was on board.
One of us did, so I'm glad. But I'm looking forward to seeing how SVSU continue to approach this attacking side. This time, they're 5-manning it here through A main.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen SVSU, actually. I can't remember the last time I saw them, but an exciting time. I remember them being a pretty strong team, all things considered. It's 1-1 trade earliest. You know, the Duelist is able to take down the Fade, and then you get taken out by that Showstopper, which I'm glad to see an Elim with it, because that ultimate is tough to take people down with these days.
Oh, absolutely. But already stalled out right off the bat, right? You know, you get shut down, your entry's gone, and you don't have that lurking presence that Unknown has been for SVSU in previous rounds. Instead, all regrouped here towards the A side, but that conditioning's already done. Look at how hesitant SU are to move over. They're playing so far back, worried about Unknown. Now door broken here, and they move over towards the B side.
I think it makes a lot of sense to have this hesitance due to the fact that Breach is on the opposing side, and he really makes it difficult to get through a lot of approaches. We saw the fault line come out, almost caught them even when they were waiting. So to be fearful of that overextension, I'm sure, as you mentioned, the conditioning has been set. The corner checking, no. The timing diff doesn't happen. We saw the gun. Comedic, unfortunately, just couldn't recognize it in time, and Slade gets one for free. Makes it that much harder for SU to try to turn this around. And Jason makes some magic happen. They're going to try their darndest to do so.
Spike initiated, and the same 2 on SU now, stuck in another 2v4 post plant retake. You can't save in this situation, though. Instead, having to move in, trying to clear out close quarters, but it's crossfires all around the board.
Oh no, you get caught out. Unknown knows exactly where you are, and Manostorm makes it that much harder to defuse. Here's a fault line. Here's some bullets from Smashton, and here's probably the end of the round as poor Jason is running out of cooldowns pretty darn quickly. Unknown finds the headshot, puts the 7th round on the board for SVSU, guaranteeing them at least a 1-round advantage going into the second half. But considering how dominant the few rounds I've seen have been, I think we're going a lot higher than 7.
Okay, the thing is, though, what you missed out on was map number 1. SVSU, they had a 2-round lead at half. That was a 7-5, but we're looking really, really good on defense. Stockton finally kind of figured out what they were doing on their attacking side, but once we swapped, Stockton kind of ran with it, and it ended up closing out 13-10, and Stockton at one point on their defender's half had 7 rounds in a row. So while it's not 7-5 quite yet, Stockton, they did have a big comeback. They didn't allow that to like stall out their mental at all, and it was right off the bat of one of their timeouts that was called. So we're seeing that being called now from St. PJ's again, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Stockton now adjusts, because the difference was honestly right off the bat in the previous map.
The difference can usually come off the back of a timeout for a myriad of reasons, right? You've got that 60 seconds to discuss what you want to do next. It can stall the momentum or kind of the power play of your opponents, and it can force you to make some changes that maybe you don't want to. And making changes is going to be tough for SU, for Stockton right now, just due to the fact their economy is in shambles, right? They've got so little to work with. They're going to have to go for entry frags. They're going to have to rely on the overextension of SVSU and try to steal those weapons instead. But Ash, this really might just be one of those rounds where, hey, all we're trying to do is make your pockets hurt.
Absolutely. But again, fault line to come out early, right? Does do a lot of stalling potential, but A's completely left open this time from SU. But I like the change of pace. You know, on an eco, they're gonna go try and find some sort of space, find that information. At this point, if you're SU, you know it's the A hit. You know that SVSU should already have sight. You're just gonna play 5v5 retake situation.
And at least it's 5v5 this time.
Yeah.
It's been a 2v5 quite a few times in a row, but Stockton, they've got the full lineup on board here. The lockdown's still in hand. I was stoked to see them not use it in the previous round, but I've got a strong hunch we're probably not going to use it here either, rocking only 5 sheriffs. It's just about finding eliminations where we can, and if you get, let's say, 2 or 3 rifles, then sure, maybe go for the lockdown if you feel you need it, but right now it's about doing as much as we can with as little as we have.
Yeah, and time's ticking here too, right? So even if you can't get the defuse, at least try and take all those guns out of the hands of SVSU. A trade for a trade to start things off, but it's just exit plays that SU are looking for. They want to take SVSU down with them, you know, do a bit of that damage to the economy. Question is, how many? And SVSU, 3 of them actually get out scot-free.
That's crazy. You know, we saw that fade bullet just barely miss the head of the Jet walking away, and Spec maybe counting their lucky stars off it. 3 rifles survives the round, and SVSU, the goal was to make their pockets hurt, and instead their pockets grow a little deeper. 2 of them going to be nearing max credits at the end of this upcoming round, and for Stockton, if they lose this one, Ash, again, we're going to find as that first, oh my goodness, as the final round of that half, they're going to have nothing to their name. It's really going to be a hero play.
Yeah, and then the scary thing is, like, you have 3 ultimates available, right? But the question is if Stockton has to expend all 3 of them to secure this next round, it doesn't leave them as much to work with, and all those win conditions gone for the last one of the half. Presence already being shown early here by Slade towards the B side. Always being held super passive for the most part. Jason's always towards that A-Link situation. But this time it's going to be Spec breaking the door. Cloudburst as well, just to cover, put that additional pressure, as Spec actually chooses to walk away from it. But that's a sticky situation, because now your back's completely open. You're just lucky SU's not looking.
Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing. Like, you destroy the door, and then you turn your back to the door. It's like, hold on. Somebody could be right behind you. You didn't check anything. You just put the cloud burst down, and there's a lot of luck on the side of Spec here that they're not willing to roll through. And speaking of rolling, it's the Rolling Thunder clearing an empty A site. Unbeknownst to them, nobody was there to be caught by it. But I like the confirmations. I like the safety picks we're seeing here of getting the intel on as many people as we can. Comedic up on the high ground, holding a tight angle, puts the turret out to fight as well, but it's Strat off screen who finds that first elim onto Slade. For a second, it's a double attempt here toward the B side as well. Strat having a field day, takes down Unknown as well, and Stockton, for the first time since I've arrived, have a very solid numbers advantage and a great chance of possibly being able to win this round.
Last player standing.
A lot of it is due to the Harbor ultimate that we saw come out as well, right? But just nice, really nice utility plays, playing together here for SU. I think a big change that was a factor there was Comedic setting up towards the A for the first time. Sure, a lot of the util got shut out early, but at the same time, it allowed the other members of Stockton to kind of play around the map. They were waiting through B for Unknown to flank once again, thus punishing it for one of the first times where Unknown wasn't actually able to get the drop off on someone.
Unknown not finding that first blood or that early elimination has been a clear pace setter, right? The tide's turning in that moment. Harbor pun accidentally intended, but the point is made, Ash. I think you brought up a great point as well, that Harbor ultimate makes a lot of space, it gets the stun, and it pulls enough focus for Stockton to find the eliminations necessary. They've done it once with the Harbor ult. Now things change, of course. They've only got that Nightfall in the lockdown. The lockdown they've been sitting on for a while. It looks like when they use it, they want to make sure they use it correctly.
Hasn't been quite the perfect moment yet, but might be an early one to come out. Instead, looking to completely stall the C take. I mean, it'll be taken regardless, but it's a question of if you're going to commit to getting that plant down. It will go out in default here from Slade, but this is...
Oh no!
It doesn't even land! This was a calculated risk.
Oh, and it's a 2-for-1 trade. We've got 3 players detained right now. Somehow Spec is the one to sneak in, get rid of Somnus and St. PJ. An incredible moment there. The Omen lives to tell the tale, gets the spike plant down moments later, and puts SVSU in a phenomenal position to make this a 9-3 going into the second half. I've got to say, like you said, Ash, absolutely calculated risk, and one where clearly they knew the reward was just around the corner.
I just can't believe that happened,
Speaking of
to be
corners.
honest. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, wow. A flawless to end the round. The Killjoy Venn diagram is something we see super often on a lot of maps, but seeing 2 of those get 3 people, that's like 2 more than normal, if any at all. So the value there, everybody was wanting to stay close together. Nobody wanted to overextend or give up their positioning, and I think it had a huge play in costing Stockton that hold.
Absolutely. I think the thing with Lotus as well is just the fact that there's so many corridors. Someone could sneak behind you from anywhere on the map. Like, there's just going to be some sort of crack that you can slip through. And that's part of the worry about backing off so far, too, is like, is anyone lurking around the corner? One of you guys vibing over here, waiting for us to kind of rotate off? But we are swapping sides now. It's pistol round. An important round for Stockton to win, but at the very least, they do have the map advantage, currently being 1-0, so SVSU looking to stay alive.
Oh, what? They're not quite able to do so yet. It's going to be a 2-2 trade as the duelists are both really trying to make waves for their teams. SVSU finds themselves with a 1-player numbers advantage, and I mean, it's basically 2. As poor Jason, you flick him in the ribs and he's going to fold like a lawn chair. The spike plant is absolutely the name of the game right now, Ash. They want those 400 credits in their pocket, but with this kind of double split approach. I don't know if it's the intention of Strat trying to pull focus towards B just like that, of kind of faking it toward the B side, but leaving poor 2 HP Jason with the spike by himself. That's another incredible risk.
It's definitely a big risk of planting in a really safe spot here too, because Jason doesn't really have any other options. Can't go for that open plant towards main. But you gotta just survive in that situation. You don't know who's around where, but Jason actually looking to get aggressive here. Try to catch one off guard in towards CT. But, oh, they're gonna dart it.
Oh, you know, Jason had 2 ways to go there, and I like the option they took. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out. SVSU finds all 5, with only 2 of their players getting eliminations, and that is the 10th round win, hitting double digits there. Stockton, when they lost 2 at the beginning and a 3rd was soon to fall, I think they did everything right. They got the spike plant down, and the expectations of winning that round were low, but they did as much as they could to try and set themselves up here for greatness in round number 2.5.
See, normally I would say, okay, you got the spike initiated. Sure, SVSU, they're at double digits now. You got a bit extra money in your pocket, though. Are we going to see a force? Jason is buying up to a Spectre, but don't forget, today was the day the Stinger was nerfed. It's more expensive, the damage fall off is greater now as well, and the meta is falling off, and you can tell from this buy. But with how many rounds SU's down, they can't do anything but try and buy up anyways.
Buy up is always a nerve-wracking moment to be in, and hopefully it can work well for Stockton. The Spectre slowly returning back to the greatness it once had now that the Stinger's a little harder to work with. It's always scary, Ash, because if they lose this one, all of a sudden there's 2 rounds left. One of those they absolutely cannot buy for, and then they find their backs against the wall. But a win could be just around the corner. If Slade finds this lineup early, it's going to be a devastating blow against Stockton.
Absolutely, because that's your controller down as well. For the first time, though, SU are looking for that direct C contact push, and SVSU have a read. They've stacked 2 towards C for the first time ever. Smokes are going out as well here for the team, and this vault line is going to cause a lot of chaos to lay that push.
Vault line into Nano Swarm, the first elimination in favor of Stockton with their weapons disadvantage. They're going to need as many as they can get. The spike plant goes down in a safe spot. No wall bangs happening here. Stockton's got it up and running. The KJ turret pulls focus, but Strat doesn't want to swing with it. Wants to hold the corner, wants to find a free limb if they can get it. Grabbing that Vandal out of this Jet's hands right now could be huge. There goes one. The second on the corner goes for the paint shell instead, but luckily enough, Somnus was there to take him down. Slade. Oh no! Oh no! Strat's own paint shell. They were at 3 HP and they were in the radius. It's a devastating blow, but luckily enough, it's not going to be too damaging to the team. Not quite yet. Fault line onto Spike, smashed and caught out by it. Goes for the spray and pray into the smoke. Finds one. Can't find the remaining 2. And Somnus is 3K. Keeps Stockton looking all right. Walking away with 2 rifles. Okay, 1 rifles.
A worthwhile and necessary force when it comes down to it. So SU, they have a bit more of that opportunity now to climb through those trenches, to get up into the double digits as SVSU secured for themselves in that first pistol round. But SVSU, now they're the ones that have to go onto the eco. They have that disadvantage, and they're looking to get aggressive. It should be a fast paranoia out towards A main, and SVSU largely just trying to run behind SU. I wonder if SU just rolls with it or if they try to fight.
Rolling with it might be the name of the game, but this team has definitely proven to be a scrappy one in the short time I have gotten to see them. They want to look for the fight, a hard rush into B site. So they might be able to get an early plant. The retake coming out from SVSU quickly. Slade hides into the alcove there. Doesn't push through it. Instead, it's Somnus who finds that first blood. Spec can't find the Elim, but Unknown will put down one of their own. I like what we're seeing from SVSU. They kind of bought in the second round. They didn't win it in this time. They're going to try to win it with as little as they can so their economy doesn't completely fall into shambles, and it helps prevent the idea of a snowball. That's huge there. The Classics just working miracle runs. A Bulldog in a hand now. If Unknown can do that with a Classic, what are they going to do with a Bulldog?
Last player standing.
Oh? Maybe nothing.
Tough situation there. I mean,
Definitely.
B's such a weird site too. You've got a whole plethora of smokes coming out from several players.
Compact.
Yes, and then you've got like the up-down angles. Like you've got that quote-unquote Heaven B angle, the little window there. Then you've got the fountain that dips like so low and so many places that people could be. But nice for SU to secure the round in the end. It got a little too close for comfort there.
Definitely.
SVSU were fueling themselves on the pistols, but rifles back in hands for everybody.
And Ash, you talked about the turnaround we saw in the second half back on Ascent. Possibly a same story to be told here. That is 3 rounds in a row, I believe, for Stockton, and they're thanking their lucky stars off the back of it, or perhaps only 2, my apologies. SVSU, they've got double the lead. They've got complete rifles on board. I saw an Odin in the mix as well. Bomb Buddy taken out by that Aftershock, and the B site has a strong, dominant defense playing on it. I'd love to see Stockton rotate around, possibly towards the A or the C.
I'm surprised to see Strat investing so much raise utility
before
the rotation was actually being pulled over towards the C site. You know, trying to draw that attention, but right into the smoke. Spec, unfortunate for SVSU, will fall. First blood into the hands of SU here as they make their way into the KJ's trap here. It's tough to push through, but when it comes down to it, they just gotta walk around.
Yeah, they've already gotten rid of one of the nano swarms. It might have even been both, but I only saw the one angle there. Unknown absolutely going to back up off of that. The turret not currently in place. Might use it for kind of that spy check we saw earlier of putting it down and A, if it gets fired on or fires at someone. You've got a little bit of information on where they might be. The remaining 9 members throwing a party on the C site, but I like what we're seeing from Stockton. They're kind of playing it back. They're playing it slow. They don't want to get caught out early in corners. They don't want the action to find kind of a momentum boost against them. The Nightfall should be colossal, finding at least 3 members on the side of SVSU. Slade finds 1. The Nano Swarm is up and ready, and Smashton does make it back out of the microwave. Slade finds 2, Smashton finds another, and Stockton, it felt like they were doing everything right, but sometimes it's not about doing it right, it's about doing it fast enough for greatness. Somnus, a power player this team has been utilizing. Can they continue the streak? Unfortunately, no, it's Slade's turn to find a 3K. A comedic, oh my goodness, could that be it? Is half enough? No, it's not!
Slade went absolutely huge there, but not enough. I mean,
the spray and pray.
The sprays, the mollies to stall out that time as well, coming out from comedic. Just so much going on to earn that 6th round on the board. It was chaotic. Looks scary too with the Odin in hand there for SVSU, just staring down that small choke point. But now SVSU, they're finally the ones being pushed onto an eco round, and SU, they have an even greater advantage at closing this gap.
They also still have a Spectre. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think it was comedic, but perhaps they're just trying to repair their economy a little bit. So it's not a total full buy from Stockton, but it feels like they've got what they need to find success. Blade Storm getting found in this round indicates it will be pulled if they're going to go out of their way for the ult orb like that. And as SVSU's on the defense, I feel Blade Storm can often be more difficult to find eliminations with and to frag with because you are playing an entry duelist, and when you're on defense, you're not entrying very often. So I'm wondering if SVSU is going to play it more of a sniper position and wait for an approach onto the site. And it looks like they are, as we do see that jet hanging out in the back corner of site.
Yeah, this Aftershock is huge though. Comedic all alone towards site here, but Strat, good for the trade regardless, and all of a sudden that A-hole has fallen apart.
Flank.
There's a flank coming in here from SVSU, but they don't have the numbers and they don't have the weapons.
And it's always a risk, too. Slade does find St. PJ with that stinger. The nerf wasn't enough to take it completely out of the forefront. And it's a 4-3, so if SVSU can find just 1 more eliminations and they can feel more confident. But like you said, Ash, they're spending this entire round at a weapons deficit, and that's usually a tough spot to be in. Slade, with another member down, finds the equalizer, popped off in the previous round, trying to do the same in this one. Showstopper online, might just go for the miracle block, and does it, but it's worthless, as Unknown had already fallen. Strat sprays for the smoke, puts down Slade, and with a Marshall in hand, Breach swings the corner. Not going to work out well enough, my friend. That is the 7th round win for Stockton, getting danger close to equalizing this game.
3 to go to get up towards 10, but SVSU, I mean, ops in hand here for Spec. He was doing work with it over on Ascent. I don't think we've seen an op yet here on Lotus. It's kind of an awkward map to op on, to be honest. Your main option is going to be stairs towards A, and otherwise it's all really close quarters. You're going to be playing pretty far back. Can't get aggressive with it, how Jets usually like to play.
Yeah, I think that might be the only option, and even then, I'm right there with you, Ash. This is not the type of map you see an operator getting a lot of value on, and once the enemy knows you have it, okay, we just don't go A for a while. Slade takes down Strat in the blink of an eye, and with a lot of that raise utility falling offline, that's going to slow the approach of Stockton, as we've seen that paint shell really coming in handy to clear early corners and instill confidence in Stockton in taking a site. So they're going to have to change it up, and I'd love to see what they're going to try to do here without that raise online.
Absolutely. Ooh. But you've got the Harbor ulti coming out now here, and a rotation over actually towards Waterfall instead of CT. Risky if SU had been quicker on towards site, but look at them pushing in. Somnus peeking into 3 here in Waterfall. The plants looking to go down, but the Hunter's Fury to delay. And they're just, are they gonna aggress? What is happening?
Oh my goodness. Okay, they're gonna use a lot of things, but 2 of them are gonna be completely worthless. That was both the Hunter's Fury and the Rolling Thunder finding no value in total. Slade is gonna find another 3K spec, gets value with the op, and SVSU puts their first round on the board in 5 rounds. The 4-round win streak broken on the side of Stockton, and that round barely cost him anything, Ash.
Okay, I see the idea that SU had, you know, the Rolling Thunder into Waterfall, knowing that there's several players there.
Sure.
You have the disadvantage of having a lot of pressure on you when you're trying to get that spike initiated, but SVSU were completely respecting it. I feel like swinging in that situation, leaving your Planter alone is so risky, and now it's going to be difficult for SU to climb back up, because despite these round wins, they've been losing a lot of guns in the process. They don't have the economy cushion for this.
And it's funny, at the beginning of that, I was like, yeah, that wasn't super expensive. And then while you were talking, I realized, oh, they did use 2 entire ultimates. So perhaps it was expensive in a different right than simply the economy. Now, they know that Spec has the off, so even pretending to go A here is a very fascinating choice in my book, because something just like that is going to happen. Perhaps the peak was supposed to happen post-wall or post-vault line, but it didn't, and you lose your raise again. In the previous round, when you lost that entry, the rest of it kind of crumbled around you, and the team wasn't able to capitalize fast enough. They're going to completely bail on the A site now, Ash. I'd like to see them force into a B, maybe even into a C, as both of those are very close quarters combat style sites. The operator gets little to no value, and it might force SVSU to play on a back foot with that operator on hand.
They're playing passive C2. The KJ setup isn't strong by any means, but still committing here towards the B side. Spec, with a sliver of a crack, manages to take down Comedic.
I didn't even see.
And now, yeah, rotation being pulled though. Turret knows, and St. PJ looking for a peek here in Waterfall.
PJ might get kind of a pseudo flank. The alarm bot online, and that's been given away. I'm not sure if Unknown's going to let this happen. A classic in hand for the time being. Saint swings the corner, knows that somebody is just barely on the run, can smell blood on the water, and I'd be shocked to see them extend any further than they are here. Maybe they're really just going after those elims. The right click could be disastrous. There goes Slade. There goes Jason, and Unknown will fall. I thought we were going to get a classic miracle run, but no. Goes down quick. 29 HP. Spec a 3K to boot, and all of a sudden, SVSU on match points. Our penultimate round, possibly, has just come to a close.
The other thing is, SU forced up in that round. They had a mishmash of like, there was a sheriff, 3 rifles, and another eco weapon. Now we're sitting on a broken buy. So
no
SVSU, yep, nothing to work with. Potential Insomnus if they can either get a pick or some ult orbs, because 3 are available here on Lotus. But otherwise, this is looking like SVSU could close it out here, especially with that op in hand. Smashed in with the Odin as well, and might just be taking it to that map number 3.
Yeah, all the way to map number 3, which I totally, absolutely know what map that is, which we might be at in a couple of minutes, so that'll be exciting.
Split.
But it's split. I'm actually really excited to hear that. That's one of my favorite maps in the game, so I hope we go to map 3. But right now, SVSU, they've got to clutch out just one more. They've got the Rolling Thunder. They've got the lockdown. They've got lineups, clearly. As that Sonic Dart goes into sight, should get the read on Somnus. Maybe the corner pinches there. That's interesting. I didn't know the corner was going to keep her out of the fray, but it certainly did. Somnus stays hidden for a moment, and I don't currently like what we're seeing from Stockton. I think the strategy is get info on who is where. It might be looking for the op, but when you're this split in the final round, it's going to be pretty easy to pick you off one by one if necessary.
Yeah, I think what's interesting too is like they are playing for the flanks, they're playing for the pushes out from SVSU, waiting for them to get antsy. But SVSU, aside from their eco rounds, haven't flanked. It's largely a retake flank, like super late after the spike's already been planted. So now with only 35 seconds left, posting up outside of A where the op is ready to shut you down on sight. Dangerous.
Oh, the double read there. There goes Somnus, fault line, online. I didn't even know that was wall bangable, but you learn something new every day, folks. Strat, wide swings the corner, has the Guardian up and running, swaps it for the op. Comedic ties things up 3-3. Smashed in, does take down Strat. I could have sworn that was going to hit, but close, not going to cut it. Rolling Thunder, almost a guaranteed round win now for SVSU. For Jason, nowhere to hide, and that is the 13th round victory for SVSU. We are running it all the way down to split.
It was tough. I mean, when it comes down to it, Stockton, they did have a bit of a comeback once we did swap sides and whatnot, but SVSU, Lotus was their map pick, and I think it really showed with their play style. They have scrimmed this map, they have experience on it, and they have very play rules that they like to go with as far as their style goes, but Split being the decider, Sept, is so scary in my opinion, because it can be so one-sided.
Yeah, without a doubt. I actually just recently did a Valorant event over the weekend, and every time we saw Split, it was like 13-2 or 13-5. Yeah. I think was the highest score we got. This is a map that very much tends to be one-sided, and it can be scary against both teams. There's some great op angles holding down the A site. If Strat brings out the Raze again, this is a map people love to see her. There's a lot of variables right now, Ash, and I truly don't know which way it's going to go. I hear a story of a dominant Ascent. I get to watch a second half dominant Lotus, and all of a sudden, both these teams have proven their weight's worth in gold. Is Split going to be even once again, or is it going to be just a steamroll through and through?
Well, we'll find out. We are going to throw to a quick break, though, before we go to map number 3. So go grab a snack, grab some drinks, and we'll catch you guys on the other side.
/twitter.com/Septiments. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard like the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis if I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. Like this guy right here, he's got his keyboard like off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down on the far end who has his keyboard all the way at like a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're going to be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. This isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but like you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not going to tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it, did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them? No. Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay, alright. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place?
Certainly not last.
What about, like, 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third place.
That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my god. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my god. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's going to hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
the Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow, I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazi.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah.
It's maybe.
This is a death match, and I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your kitty?
We're looking at 10-6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
You know, it could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well, you know.
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco. Oh my God, I didn't think anyone was gonna get that.
I'm a Sentinel.
Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast. Interview. Change your mindset. Change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup. I am Septilence, and I get a really neat opportunity here. We get to interview Burns from E United. Burns, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're on day 2 of the event. It's been a fantastic one. I ran into you yesterday, but we were running around like chickens with our heads off, and it has been, I mean, how has your time been here? What has this event kind of been like?
Yeah, it's great. I just love being in the passion pit, seeing all the college kids go at it. Reminds me of like an old school MLG event almost, but being like in the epicenter of the passion pit, seeing Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, and Smash, just it's amazing to see all of these schools compete against each other and get a shot to play on this main stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And tell us a little bit about kind of what is E United, right? Because we know that you're here, we know you're here to represent them, but for the people that don't know, what is E United?
Yeah, E United was founded in 2016. We're a professional esports organization. We've been in League of Legends, Overwatch, all the way to Battle Right, I think it was called back in the day. Right now in 2022, we are in Gears of War, Halo, Rocket League, PUBG, and announcing a new title tomorrow. I know, get the small intel here. So it's a lot of fun. I went pro in Call of Duty when I was younger. I ended up playing my last event under E United, switched in 2016, and I've been the GM ever since. So it's a true blessing to be able to stay with an organization for as long as I have, and we love giving back to the collegiate community. I actually graduated from Full Sail in 2013.
I was a little confused about the jersey. I was a little...
Yeah, so the Full Sail boys are out of the tournament, unfortunately, but I decided I would rep them today in their honor. Yeah, it's just great. I love working with younger individuals who are trying to find their path in esports, and these college kids are really showing what they're all about.
Yeah, so to be kind of an ex-pro player, where a collegiate scene at the time didn't exist, especially not to the scale right now, what is it like to see such high levels of success, such high levels of support for something that you weren't able to kind of get as much support in at the time, something that was looked down on a lot more?
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. That's all I can say. Full Sail started their program in 2017. When I was there in 2011 and 12, it was just a bunch of nerds running around, just creating their own clubs. I was still striving to go pro, but now you have these opportunities to play on main stage, play in front of thousands of people. We just had locals back in the day. You would show up and play for like $200, $100. It was like lunch money.
Right.
Now these kids are playing for scholarships. They're playing for fame. They could pop off here and end up getting a sponsor for $10,000 or $20,000 from somebody.
Right.
So the opportunities are just endless at the moment, and I think it's just great that you basically can prove yourself and make anything happen right now.
It's instead of kind of what you had gone through, being in college and also trying to go pro, these kids can try to go pro while being in college. It's hand in hand instead of those two kind of battling kind of matchups. So if somebody's trying to go pro, right, they're like, Burns, I want to be you one day. I want to be the GM of E United one day. What is that first step to really take it from a hobby to a passion, to a job?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a lot, but it's really, I thought about going pro every night before I went to bed.
Right.
Like, I lived and breathed Call of Duty for years. It was my life. I had to skip dinner sometimes. I had to skip family functions, and my family didn't really understand, but it was what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. But at the end of the day, you always need to kind of be organized. You have to have the ability to not put all of your eggs in one basket. So even though it worked out for me, there are so many opportunities in esports. There's being a caster or interviewing people. There's working in production. There's helping people get waters. Like, literally, there are so many opportunities. So, oh, this crowd's awesome.
They're going crazy, dude. They stayed on their last life right now.
Off subject, Smash, regardless if it's middle school, high school, college, it pops off all the time. I love it.
Well, Burns, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you guys.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna jump into it. Corner judges go for 1, 2, dip. He needs more. And they're doing even more here.
Now, looking at statistics, when I agreed to fill in for this series, I thought it was kind of a half a map and done thing, right? But no, Ascent was one-sided. Lotus turns itself on its head, becomes one-sided as well, Ash. And now we are going to Split, which the map in its own kind of folklore is almost always one-sided.
It's going to be interesting. Split, it's like you're either seeing the team go to OT or you're seeing like a completely one-sided, like this is a 13-2 situation.
Yeah.
Time will tell to see what ends up being the story between SVSU and SU. I think it has that potential to go, if not to OT, very, very close to all 24 rounds. But when it comes down to it, I mean, we know that SVSU, they've got that advantage of starting on the defense first, while Stockton will be on the attack.
Yeah, this will be really fascinating because Split is, I think one of the reasons it's one of my favorite maps in the game is I think this map has experienced a meta shift in itself via team composition more than any other map in the game, because there was a lot of great play with Sage, and then all of a sudden Chamber kind of dominates it. Chamber falls to the people tried to play Viper and Astra here. They couldn't figure that out. Raze was a pick. And it feels like while this map has been around, one of the longest maps in the world of Valorant, the meta itself is still constantly evolving. And today I think we're going to be seeing probably Raze and Sky are the two instas. The rest still up in the air to me.
Yeah, Sky's pretty much that standard flasher on Split for the most part, unless you're working in that breach like Jesus is doing. I think breach is phenomenal, especially towards the A side. You can completely stall out A main for such a long time with that early fault line. But when it comes down to it, gonna see the Sage coming out anyways on the side of Jason here for Stockton University. But what I'm gonna be looking towards Jason for is maybe less expending the wall towards mid if they're finding that SVSU doesn't respect it on their attacking side, and using that for the extremities. But we'll have to wait a little longer to find out, since it's going to be an attacking sided Sage first. Yeah, the attacking sided Sage is going to be fascinating. And well, when I say this is by no means an insult to Jason, but I feel we saw a lot of Jason being the last person left alive. Unfortunately, wasn't great at clutching out the 2v1s or the 1v1s, and had a pretty low KD, but was on the breach and had a lot of assists. So I don't know how to kind of describe that proper player, but I think with Sage, you can exemplify that playstyle even more so. You kind of take the weight of the elims off of you, and you set your team up for greatness rather than trying to be that clutch factor. On the attack, I think it's going to be a little harder. Wall should really come in handy on both sides to make the plant a little more guaranteed, and Sage playing a little bit slower in the back of the team is what I'm expecting to see a lot of as we jump into this first half. Either that or close to being up front if it's a B main push, using that wall to cross that we totally see on Split as well. But for the most part, I mean, you're totally hitting the nail on the head there. I had that almost backwards. But when it comes down to it, some changes were also made to Split when it did come back in to make it a little bit not necessarily attacker-sided favored, but a little bit easier to push in, clear out those corners, and already early fault line to come through. Pink shells as well for a bit of that chip damage. Yeah, fault line big. Shells maybe not so much. I think only Somnus is the one to take some damage there. Slade goes into the first corner, and it's a 1-1. You're willing to take those on the pistol round. It's a round that simply has to happen, and your goal is to get your team as many credits as possible. For the attackers, of course, that involves a spike plant. For the defenders, it's about taking down those attackers as fast as possible. A couple of wildcard picks we didn't get the chance to talk about that now might be a time to highlight is seeing an Astra here is fascinating. Seeing a Cypher back in the fray, he's really regained his popularity since that most recent Cypher nerf. And with Unknown behind the wheel, I'm certainly confident we're going to see some strong Cypher gameplay. Oh, for sure. I mean, he did have a bit of a buff recently as well. Did I say nerf? I meant to say buff. I figured, I meant but buff. I was like, just in case the audience doesn't know, But I definitely agree with you. It's a bit of a trade-off. Like, you have your util that just sits for you if you need to rotate off. Meanwhile, with KJ, you do have that extra damage, but no KJ in sight regardless. And this rotation now towards B heaven here for SU. They've got 30 seconds to get on towards B, but all 4 members of SVSU will be here waiting for the plan to go down.
And Ash, these are some of my least favorite rounds because the team has absolutely no time to make it happen. They just have to go in, act off of raw instinct, and kind of hit it right here, right now. Unknown does take down Somnus. You've got the 400 credits for the spike plant. You're 8 seconds off of your heal. I think Jason playing this slow could be the play, but the fault line forces them right into an Unknown's LOS, and that gives SVSU a very strong pistol round win. I liked that combination there. They knew the Cypher had the LOS. Jesus was like, all right, watch this. I'm going to force them out. They're forced out. That's the round win for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely tough there, but a nice retake for SVSU. Now, SU, I mean, it's split. Would have been Stingers, but I don't think it's going to come out. I don't know. Like, I'm watching Strat hover over the Judge and the Spectre picks, but I think it'll be just your typical save. It's nice to see this meta shift coming through now, but you're also going to have to worry about the Cypher here for SU walking straight into that trap, but no trips actually set down yet.
Unknown wants to be able to block out this cat. I think that makes a lot of sense. Trying to get the intel early, but Strat doesn't even trip it. That's phenomenal. Now you've got it set up for the next player who walks out. A dark cover to boot. You know the Haunt's on the way. Hawk comes out quickly through the smoke and a counter from SVSU. You've got a lot of intel that Stockton should be making a fast run up this catwalk here. Paranoia in hand. This could be pure disaster for Stockton if they don't play their cards right.
Cutting noise. Wait out the fault line. Only 1 hit.
No peek.
Still hovering around the A side here on SVSU's defense, but look at the control they have on B main. I mean, it's expected that all these players could be hiding still towards ramp, and it's just a bloodbath here.
A great Paranoia coming out from vents there, and it's going to find a Hawk. 4 players flash, 2 on each side. Jesus is finding another one in the form of Somnus. There's up to these 4 healers to try and make it happen. Sky, no util left online. Looking for exit frags, but Unknown had the slow burn flank. Takes it down. A flawless round, Ash. The bonus is going to be feeling great. All 5 of you carry it into this next round. I don't think they even know Slade has a judge.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think they do know that there is a judge pending on the other side of a corner. I don't know which corner it'll be, but at the very least, though, it's looking good for SVSU. SU, they do have the buy-up here, so they are on the anti-eco, but with this bonus, Split's such a small map that these SMGs, the shotgun, can just do so much work in close quarters.
Without a doubt. And another reason I love Split. I love Split because I'm better with the Phantom than I am the Vandal, and I think that's part of the reason I enjoy this map very much. They're going to go quickly in. No wall, or maybe a late wall. A little deep on the wall as well, so I'm curious on what the strategy here is to be, perhaps just to prevent kind of a low ground rotation. Slade playing in the star, waiting for someone to take ropes up, but SVSU, I don't know, they're not a team to take risks, and I feel like they're just going to kind of wait this out, wait for possibly a flank approach. I think we're seeing one in the midst. Somebody's making their way into Garage. I didn't quite catch the name of who. It's Spec. Goes in quick. Checks the corner. Finds one already. Goodbye, St. PJ. Goodbye, Strat. With a phenomenal paint shell. One deep into the back as well. Somnus found something, but it might be one of those too late scenarios. Jesus is gone. Somnus, a maniac! Slade's judge finally makes its appearance, and SVSU will win the 3rd round in a row.
What a retake from SVSU. I mean, the flank was huge, though. I mean, the impact was really on those picks towards B main, taking 2 out early, drawing that focus away from the players trying to take space on site on SVSU's side. But it's tough for SU. You got a slow start here, being pushed onto an eco once again, mostly looking towards this attacking team to rack up some ult orbs, try and get them online for their next rifling round. Somnus will have the Nightfall regardless if he doesn't make it out of this round alive, but you could even get Jason's Resurrection up for the next one.
I think that would be pretty valuable, honestly, is trying to go for Jason's Resurrection into the following round. This one, you're expecting to lose. No point in using res for it, but getting that orb might be worth a lot of utility. This is going to be a tough round, a little bit of luck necessary. Great paint shell. Strat's probably dead. Absolutely going down. Saint does get the trade. Very well done, keeping it on a 4-4 tie-up, and with only Sheriffs in hand, Stockton, I don't know, it's like a miracle run. I don't think they're looking for a round win here. I think they're just looking, again, to take out as many weapons as they can before this round comes to a close.
I mean, they do have one rifle now. PJ did go to pick up the Phantom down in B main. Jesus, though, not knowing how many are towards mid here, looking to flash out, swing off of it. But a deep smoke already being thrown. That shouldn't be necessary until that signal, the green light from SU goes through with the guiding light, and just continuous delay upon delay. And having to give up mid control as well, rotating through sewers into Cypher's trips once again.
And that's the worst part about Sky's Tasmanian Tiger is the fact that she just got all the information they needed. Okay, they're gone. Clearly, we didn't see them go off towards B. It must be an A hit. And hit on A, Somnus certainly is going to be a headshot from Unknown. Takes them down in SVSU. A numbers advantage they probably didn't even need with how cool, calm, and collected this team has been so far. Every move they've made has been raw calculation, and I'm not sure if SU is going to be able to do much. The rifle they have now in an unretrievable position. And it's up these two once again to make it happen. Unfortunately, Comedic is already gone. Jason, 49 HP, fault line to catch. Unknown eliminates the variable in SVSU. 4th round in a row. Ash, we talked about how one-sided this map can be. I think we're getting a great example early on.
This is really giving me the same vibes as SVSU's defense on Ascent.
Sure.
Because honestly, Unknown was kind of running the show on that map. At half, they were 16-6, I believe, currently 7-1. But the retakes, the calls for the retakes, the way that they were playing was just pristine, and nearly all rounds won on their defender's side were defuse rounds for SVSU. So I like that we're seeing that similar look again, but in the 3rd map of a series, SU has to find an answer quickly on their post-mats.
I believe Stockton has gotten the spike. Yeah, Ash, I think you're completely correct. Stockton has gotten the spike down every single round. It's the post plant that's been difficult for them, and a lot of that comes from the mildly unconventional pick of that breach coming from the side of SVSU. He's certainly making his way into the forefront of many maps. We've seen him on Haven for a while. I saw him on Ascent this past weekend. We're seeing him on Split right now. People are continuing to put the aggression that breach can bring to the table because he, at the end of the day, is a very strong agent due to the fact that most of his abilities traverse through walls, through chokes. It's very difficult to push into a breach, as we're seeing right now in this main site, or this main between sites.
I know, Jesus is just providing so much control for mid that normally you see a Sage doing with slows and whatnot, but
oh no,
smoked off, unable to peek and help out Slade in B Heaven. The fault line's not quite enough, and first blood into the hands of SU.
SU for the first time in a long time, feeling confident with their performance. Oh, no way Spec gets the fire on that. I was so proud of Strand that moment, had the perfect lineup, but the rocket was fired and the show was stopped for Stockton. Another successful spike plant. Unknown on the high ground here. Last time we saw them was 3 eliminations way back in the pistol round. Here comes a wide swing. Oh, and smashed in. Holds the angle. Neural theft getting completed in the ultimate at the ready. 3 members left standing for Stockton. And Ash, while their locations may be given away, I don't think changing the plan would be any good. I think they need to play this the way they were trying to before neural theft happened. Jason's gone. Unknown has the read, but Comedic gets the lineup a little bit faster up to Smashton to try and win this 2v1 crossfire. Just can't make it happen, and Somnus will finally help break the curse. Stockton's first round on the board.
Similar to the tale of Ascent, Stockton able to secure rounds when they have an advantage in their post plant, but anytime it's like equal numbers or advantage as far as numbers into SVSU's hands, it's been rounds for them on the retake. So SU, they need to continue on with the momentum of finding those picks, shutting SVSU down early. The first bloods, huge win conditions for Stockton's team. And again, you're going to have a cam being popped up there by Unknown. A different location this time, but that one and the previous one both so great for those retake situations.
Without a doubt. It gives you so much intel. We saw that poor Astra just being caught live on the CCTV, completely oblivious that her location was compromised. Nightfall going to find action early, gives Unknown's location away. Tasmanian Tiger meets a haunt outside the site, and it's up to Unknown. I mean, audio completely cut in this moment. Terrified for her life, but nobody looks at Smashton, who finds a 3-piece. The showstopper trying to make it happen. St. PJ puts him down. And Strat trying to clear sight. Gets a hit onto Jesus. The blind fire worth it at the end of the day. Spec coming all the way from B garage to A Heaven here. Eats part the paint shell. Gets the intel on Astra. And gotta get a great paint shell. I don't know why we're using Cosmic Divide. I'd love to hear your guess on why this Cosmic Divide may have came out, Ash, but let's let this round wrap up first. Spec's got the op, and I mean, exit frags might be the name of the game. They either risk dying to Spec and losing the round, or go down to the spike and history is over.
We gotta save it here. Spec bought this operator with every penny. It was a light shield buy, so won't be able to afford with the rest of the team if he does lose it in this situation. I think the Cosmic Divide, though, it came out because of the fact that Spec's holding the op, right? You make it so much harder to push out if the person is holding a sniper rifle as opposed to a normal one, and it's a 1v2. For SU, they're down 3 rounds. They needed to guarantee a second. So slowly climbing back up. SU, they're finding their footing here as they adjust to the attacking style of SVSU. And I think that previous matchup on Ascent has helped SU in adapting a lot earlier than they did previously because they're used to the similar playstyle in which SVSU handled things last time.
I think my biggest concern is just the fact that that was 3 ultimates to win a single round while already being down 3 rounds. I think that's kind of why I'm a little scared off of that, but like you said, Stockton showing a lot of great signs of adaptation and improvement, and hopefully they can win these rounds just in a little more traditional formality and not having to use ultimates every round to put a win down. Playing it slow on the B, I think the discussion was, no, go ahead, peek it. If she opts you, I'll just wall and res. I think that's why we saw a little bit of communication there, but hopefully it's not just a 4-man collateral. I'll go absolutely insane. Oh, but you can't res the one who reses Ash, and if Jason bites the bullet, that puts Stockton in a tough spot. Try and recover. Paranoia it out. Strat is missing. Tasmanian Tiger gets the stun, but the blast pack keeps Spec up and running.
No!
No! The bomb buddy! Oh, Spec does it all right, but that little boom buddy sneaks his way in there, gets the elimination, and honestly, might make it winnable for Stockton. They're down 1, but they're feeling good. They've got those Seekers online.
Seeker's on lock, but Spike is out in the open here towards B main. Luckily, they're able to pick it up here for Stockton, and St. PJ has a great position as far as catching the rotation off. What gets tricky, though, is that can see into heaven, and the trick is here for ropes. You've got the Seekers coming out, so SU, they know that everyone is leaning towards the B side. They've got to move faster now.
I think the goal is to get the plant down right now. Seekers gives away a lot of information. We see the Omen teleport into this A main area. It's definitely unsuspected that he can move that quickly, and I like the ultimate. Might give them an off-angle strike. Opens the hawk through the corner. Goodbye. Oh no, goodbye. Smashed in hello. St. PJ desperate to put this round win on the board for Stockton to close the gap to only a single round. Can Slade be the hero they were back on Lotus, Ash? Or can Stockton confidently say they're putting a 3rd round in a row down?
So much for Slade to clear out, though. Planted for heaven, but doesn't have elbow information. Smokes off. And then TPs towards hell, and doesn't matter, though, because Comedic is going to check it anyways. Heard the Shrouded Step, and 3rd round on the board here for SU. The adjustments are working.
The adjustments, I mean, just working miracles for Stockton. That's 3 in a row. They used a lot of ultimates. I was afraid, but them winning that round with 0 definitely reinstills a confidence that this offense may end in their favor. Ash, you called it earlier. You know, you said this could be a very back-and-forth series, and I think Stockton desperate to try and make it so after finding themselves down by 4. A very convincing round win there, I think, as well. A very clear communication between PJ and Comedic, and that's what a team needs to succeed in a moment like that, is just pure, complete communication.
Gotta get up close and personal, though, here on the eco. Slade trying to get aggressive. Smashing already walked out here towards main. One's waiting, and Comedic comes out on top in the 50-50. And SVSU, they're pushing out from both extremities straight into the crosshairs of SU, who are waiting and anticipating.
The Cypher rotate over to B site, I think, is going to be pretty unexpected, as we've seen Unknown on A site nearly every round up to this point. Entering round 8 is a great time to shake it up, but they're not even going to risk it at this point. I think it's the lack of information right now on the side of Stockton. They can't fully commit to either site because everyone is a variable in this moment. I don't think they've really, you know, everybody they've seen is already down. The other 3 are wild cards.
This is tough. There's no way Unknown gets out here.
Ooh,
yeah.
PJ's
gonna clean up. Can't do too much. You gotta go some hand. You're gonna 1-and-done angle. Easy plant here in a 2v5 on SVSU's ego. Should be a clean and likely flawless, to be honest, around here for SU, unless SVSU can hit some crazy shots.
Yeah, I think there's a Bulldog, or not a Bulldog, excuse me, a Stinger, yeah, for the both of them. Could maybe get just that crazy lucky headshot, or you could give yourself away in the Astra Smoke and make it a lot harder to sneak into sight, look for a free limb. After shot comes around the corner, the entire firing squad waiting for Jesus just around that corner, and up to Slade to be that hero again. Ash, is there really any point in saving a Stinger, or is it about going out with a bang?
It's about going out with a bang. Nearly took out St. PJ there, just trying to get anybody that they can, whittle down the economy a little bit for SU, but finally back onto a bye here for SVSU, and SU managed to equalize 4 rounds in a row in response. A big factor being St. PJ. His lurks have been impeccable for SU, and that's part of the perk of playing your Astra. You can still play with your team, you can play the grab wall, the concuss, as long as you're communicating, and you can be anywhere on the map.
I'm totally down for that. I completely agree. It's all about having that communication, being there to help the team when they need it, and using that util. Jason always just waiting for the op shot. Even in spots an op could never reach at the beginning of a round, Jason is ready to pop that res when the team needs it. Every time we've seen Jason try to res, they are the first one to go down. Hopefully that story is a little different in this round. And yeah, it will be Slade who falls first. The clutch factor for SVSU out the window. A phenomenal cam. Just gives so much information with absolutely no risk of discovery. Comedic blind fires the corner. Doesn't hit unknown. Omnis's flank. Not quite the flank they think it is. There goes Jason again. Gets smashed in Seekers online. The Haunt destroyed. Hawk around the corner. And poor Stockton getting absolutely bodied by utility right now.
What a cross. And you've got a flashpoint for ramps as well. But it's going to be quick rotation here for SU. St. PJ always on the lurk regardless, though this time towards A main instead of mid. Boombot does go out towards ramps, but SVSU, the past few rounds, I mean, they have had some ecos to deal with, but they've been being punished on the defense for their defender-sided aggression, pushing out for information, and SU's always waiting.
Boombuddy clears out a couple of corners, but nobody checks in time. Spec gets a freebie. Paint shells off the wall into the corner. Gonna catch Spike Plant as well. Lucky Comedic there. The timing couldn't have been much better from Comedic, and keeps them up and running. 4v3.
St. PJ.
St. PJ the hero.
Right no, they
continue
saw
to live up to that tail. The head pops up when you go into the animation. Ah, a little bummed it's not a knife kill, but it's an elim regardless, and SVSU feeling even more confident that while things get close, losing the lead, not a problem quite yet. Uh-oh. Somnus has a good crossfire, but Comedic still might have to give their life for the call. Spec, they know that she's in this corner, and Spec has the intelligence to understand if Sky is there, she's currently flashed. I'm going to wide swing garage door and get this kick. They do so, and SVSU bodies round number 9. A phenomenal performance.
That was... Man. If it were for going into astral form there, like seeing that little like purple sprinkle on top of Astra's head had such good positioning, but now SVSU, they're back in the lead. They managed to steal a round away, a much needed one too, and both teams just on the brink of having tough buys to deal with, so close to the end of this half.
Yeah, Ash, like the season of Survivor I'm on right now, both these teams on the edge of extinction, just due to the fact that this economy can fall into shambles at any given moment. SVSU, they clutched it out when they needed it, and keeping this round, it might be even more important than the last. An early divide, gonna open up a lot of space for a rushdown into ASEC, completely blocks out Heaven. Smashed it, can't get away from the util in time, and will be the first one to go down. Gives Stockton another numbers advantage, a boost of confidence, and this Cosmic Divide keeps the dream up and running. Can Slade sneak in?
Slade manages to go past. No, just missing each other in the smoke.
Oh my goodness! Oh, Strat's got to be furious about that one. Slade goes a 2-for-1 trade, and PJ picks it up, but unknown on the high ground. Finds it again. Oh, this neural theft painful. They get Somnus back up just to give their location away. Spec goes for the hero play. It's respected, but it's not going to be working quite yet. Unknown found Comedic, and that resurrection just keeps it equal, Ash. It's not even a help for the round win. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. You got to wide swing the corner. Just bring around the Rosie, and it looks like Stockton's going to be able to win this round. 5v5. A phenomenal turnaround from Stockton. Way closer than they would have wanted. Holy cow, Jason by the skin of their teeth.
That was... Slade was probably like, what is going on right now? Just ships in the night passing through the Cosmic Divide, but I really love the Cosmic Divide paired with the paint shells, the boom bot into that empty corner to ensure that no one's hiding there early to swing out. And now SU, they're moving back towards B. Unknown back towards A with the setup once again, and there's no operator to worry about here in main.
Seekers, though, that's a different story. I like what we're seeing from Stockton. They're pushing into the B site and intentionally leaving the spike behind. That way, if someone does get picked, it's not just a disaster. No. Strat, blind fire, Spec has to do the same. Last packs out, the Tasmanian Tiger keeps them down for a moment. Paint shells into the choke, approaching from B. Garage. I thought Strat fired. I cannot believe that for so long. Strat holds it, just wins the quick draw. I guess it's a very, very slow draw, actually. Comedic finds Slade, smashed in, gets the trade. It's another 3v3 each round where it feels like Stockton should be in charge. It's another round. They find themselves at least at a draw.
3v3. Retaking largely from Heaven as well. The wall to go out is for Sight and not CT. Flashpoint out, guiding light as well. Finds information for Pillar, but Somnus isn't blind. Able to swing down, and Strat cleans up 6-5 here for SU.
The prediction was it was going to be a close game, and at least the first half is living to tell that tale. This could be it, Ash. We're seeing a full buy come out from the side of SU. Maybe everybody's short of Somnus, and SVSU stuck in a very uncomfortable scenario. It's not about full buying right now. It's about trying to steal a gun early. Best thing they've got in pocket right now is full buy.
Okay, I was like, is Unknown going to buy up more than a Ghost?
You never know.
Okay, we're going to see the Spectre come out instead. Yeah, it's going to be largely SMGs, but again, at least it is split, so you've got close quarters to work with.
Right.
But SU changing the pacing a little bit this time. Going to slow contact up. Steps, just kidding, being made. They're going to stomp their way in. They're making noise. And the same pieces of utility take out those tripwires.
Yeah, every time. It's just that constant game of cat and mouse. Okay, you're going to trip. I'm just going to Tasmanian Tiger through it. Strat double blast back in, removes the unknown quantity, and Slade will fall short after. I think Stockton's probably got this one in the bag. The weapons had already suggested that, and with a 5-2 advantage, this might even be a flawless Ash if they can pull this out fast enough.
It could be. Somnus has great positioning here towards Hell, but could also get flashed out early on, get caught off. Guiding Light gives information. They're just gonna spray, but it's risky. And those peaks over, smashing, getting 2. But Somnus closes it out. 3K here for SU. 7-5 as they take the half with an advantage.
The half with a very small advantage here, Ash, because SVSU was able to win the first pistol round. If they do so again, statistics do recommend, or suggest rather, that it'll probably be a 7-7 going into the rest of this game. If Stockton just lets it happen, okay, you win 4 more rounds and we'll body you for the rest of the half again, maybe that's kind of the story to be told, but I think Stockton really wants to win this. They want to disrupt kind of what we've seen. I know of the 2 pistol rounds I've seen so far, SVSU won both of them. So Stockton really wants to change it. They want to rip that momentum away, put themselves on top for once.
I'm out of stuff. We'll see how it pans out. And I mentioned the Sage not playing mid, and I'm really happy to see Jason already, right off the bat, just playing for this deep A main wall. Can be so valuable on these pistol rounds if you get caught out with the wall early, because there aren't very many bullets in those pistols, and you can waste a lot just trying to break in.
That's very true. The Sage wall unbreakable only on 1 round, and it's usually the pistol. A lot of great damage from St. PJ, but unfortunately not able to take that player down yet. You're giving yourself away. You just got to go for the wide swing. Luckily enough, the team has got your back, St. PJ, and that's the first elimination in favor of Stockton. I requested one thing and one thing only, Ash. I wanted to see a different story in this pistol round, and it looks like Stockton's going to try to make that true.
So Comedic able to find 3 with a guiding light, but it's not really a dry swing because they're flash, but with 3 of them looking at you, someone's gonna hit a shot.
People tend to just open fire when a flash comes out, and if you're standing in the way of 3 folks all at once, it can definitely cost you. That's all right, though. Things are still tied up with a very mild HP advantage in favor of Stockton due to the fact that Smashton's at 31 standing. 40 seconds remain. This reminds me so much of that earlier pistol round we saw at the beginning of Split, where nobody wanted to be the first to make that mistake, and it called for a really slow round to the point where I think Spike went down with less than 15 seconds left.
Ooh, the dark cover, though, actually a bit of a faux safety feeling with the guiding light, but it doesn't matter because it's just going to back off here for St. PJ. Safe plant to go down for SVSU. They have the advantage now in this post plant. And SU, they're actually really slow to creep in. Kind of worried that SVSU may be pushed into CT.
And honestly, huge credit to Unknown for the variety of cams we are getting. I really like that. It's a constant change, and it's very difficult to know where it's going to be. It can't be destroyed every round. It's a small thing, but if you're going to play Cypher, you got to be able to do that well. Slade taken down by Strat, a blind fire into the back there. 3v3, Spike plant down, Paint Shells make space, Somnus makes more, gives their life for the cause with only 31 HP left. Sebastian will fall. It's a 1v1 here,
No
Ash.
time.
Nobody's got time to do anything. They're both going down for the cause here. Strat gets it, but it's all for show. The round win will be in favor of SVSU once again.
Like you said, earning that pistol statistically, especially now that the Stinger meta is no longer in play, high likelihood that we see SVSU tie things up here. Again, Spec is always going to buy up to the light shield with the Vandal in hand as everyone else goes SMGs, trying to carry a hero rifle over on into the bonus. But I'm taking a look over at the alt economy right now, and even though SU, they didn't earn the last round for themselves, Strat does have 4 alt points already into that showstopper.
That's absolutely absurd. Like, this is round 2, and that's tied for the most expensive with quite a few in this game, but it's an ultimate that can make waves on a map as tight as Split is, as close quarters as this map can be. Tasmanian Tiger, we're going to see this a lot. This is just how Skies find success on a map like this. They gain a lot of information for the team. Team capitalizes, everybody pats Sky on the back, and you go home with a win. Stockton not going to make it so easy, though. Onto the A site. The retake from Stockton didn't work once, Ash, but with the weapons advantage for SVSU, their odds have plummeted for it to win a second time. Slade holds the corner. That trip may have just saved his life. Or may have prevented his gone down there, but the double swing keeps him up.
That is tough, but Paint Shell's ear towards Billboard, and Jesus takes a bit of chip damage for it. Big blind out, but blinds his teammate towards elbow as well. Billboard so thin, and Jesus is down to 31 HP, but the clock is ticking.
One enemy remaining.
Clock ticking on Jesus' life as well. He expires with a shot through the Billboard. Nashton gets the blind, throws don't fake, and the meeting does clutch it out. Has the Phantom from, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know, but the Phantom from somebody. Stockton has it online. It works wonders, and they put an 8th round win on the board. Statistics absolutely defied thanks to that comedic clutch. Because I saw a Vandal. I never saw somebody buy a Phantom.
I am confused, to be honest, because of that. Was it a last minute switch?
It must have been, because there's nobody from Stockton would have bought that. That had to be somebody on the side of SVSU. The question is, SVS, who bought that Vandal, that Phantom? I mean, I truly don't know.
It could have, I'm looking at the money, and it could have been Jesus, but maybe Spec just swapped out last second. Either way, though, we are going to see that aggression now towards mid. The wall rotating over towards the mid side for the first time here for SU. Really nice on that eco round as well. Slow SVSU down quite a bit here in the mid side. Spec looking to get up close and personal with this Stinger, but the slow's just not going to let that happen.
Not going to let that happen at all. The Sage Slow, in my humble opinion, one of the most annoying abilities in this game. I'm sure SVSU shares a similar sentiment for the time being. I love the flash into the corner there. It's a little move, but it keeps you up and running. You're able to catch it. A phenomenal elimination there. Jason's still standing. They know poor Spec is caught in that corner. It's a blast pack to boot. That's just showboating at this point. Stockton, a flawless round win, 9-6. And just when you thought we saw SVSU maybe starting to make a comeback, Stockton says, this is our lead, and we're never letting it go.
Split. Defender sided map. I know that they made changes for it to be more attacking sided, but the choke points are just so small, and the reads from Jason have been really great as well. And if it's not Jason who's making the call to switch up locations, whoever the IGL is on the side of Stockton is, I think it is St. PJ, because they've been the one calling the timeouts and whatnot. But for those rotations to come over, they've been catching SVSU off guard and delaying them.
Yeah, it's been quite impressive, their performance against SJSU so far. SVSU, talking about too many schools all at once. The Tasmanian Tiger falls down mid again, smashed in. I mean, you're not upset about that. It's a good hold. You got it out early. You know they've used the Tiger, and that does encourage a bit of a faster push. I'd like to see their default back to A site, if I'm being honest. It feels like they want to take it over to B, but A, they found success or very close to it. I mean, they went 1-1 on the A site, and then they started swapping over to B. It's not working out as well so far. And now with a Heaven presence, maybe I'll eat my words, but Slade falling makes me a little more confident in my statement.
Somnus, though, staying alive here towards site, and got one caught out over towards Raptors. Able to blast back out. Actually, catch Somnus off guard, smashed in with the refrag as well. The Seekers to come out, and everything is going kind of wild here in towards mid, and Spike still hasn't made its way towards B site.
No, the Hawks colliding with one another in midair. It's so goofy. I see it happen all the time. It always makes me giggle, but here we go. Spike plant finally going to be falling. 25 seconds remain, and with a little bit of uncertainty, Stockton may had started a small rotation to the A site. They lose a couple members. Jason does put down Smashton, and with the showstopper in hand, it's a 1-1 trade. Unknown's got to make it happen. Catches a lot of bullets. Does find one. Just can't get to St. PJ in time, and with more than enough time to find the defuse Ash, this is Stockton hitting double digits.
10-6 here for Stockton University, and man, the retakes have been really nice coming out from this team as well. Both teams have adjusted so well to each other, but since swapping to the defender side, I mean, SU, they are riding off of that high of the comeback there in the first half, right? They had the momentum on their side. It was nearly 7 rounds in a row, except for one that SVSU caught into the middle there with the defuse. But otherwise, forces out the timeout from Spec.
I like the timeout here as well, just from the side of SVSU, because Valorant is a very momentum-heavy game, right? And while 60 seconds doesn't feel like a lot, it can really stall out kind of the warm-up, the approach, the confidence of, we've won X amount of rounds in a row. All of a sudden, you've really got to kind of discuss, maybe you overextend a little bit, maybe your play style changes, or your plans change during this timeout, because the timeout for one half is, of course, the timeout for the other as well. And SVSU committing this here, being down 4 rounds, they know something's got to change right now, or there might not be time for something to change at all.
I think for SVSU, one of the biggest priorities for this eco round for them is going to be getting that 7th ult point out of Jesus. Trying to have that Rolling Thunder just one away, because likelihood is that SVSU statistically shouldn't win this next round with the bye that they have. And then you have the Rolling Thunder to work with as well on the attacking side, right? Which could be a huge win condition and difference maker for SVSU. They will be leaning back towards that A default that you mentioned previously. Fault line to go over towards ramps, but no one's playing there on the SU side.
The lack of information can be terrifying for SVSU right now. They've got a weapons disadvantage. One iota of an overextension can cost them a player just like that, Ash. Now, a showstopper has to be used in an attempt to equalize, but PJ's got more than enough time to run it down and get out of dodge. There goes Comedic. Unknown does find it. And a good combination perhaps for PJ. Walks right into it. And the crossfire seals the deal. The timing near perfect on that neural theft to help out that showstopper, get that guaranteed elimination. SVSU numbers advantage, looking to defy expectations in all their own ways. Wow, phenomenal! That's the spike, and the cavalry is on its way to try and retrieve that spike. Pin shells clearing in a moment. Somnus would love to find one more, but just can't do it. Jason finds it. Jesus puts down Jason in that moment, and with only this raise left standing, can we get that hero play they're looking for?
1v2 situation. Rolling Thunder's up now here, so if things do fall apart for SVSU, they have that as collateral. Instead, Strat, though, with the fact that it's a late plant, instead going to lurk over towards B main. And SVSU, both players actually backing up into the choke. They're looking.
Oh, no. Had an opportunity, unfortunately couldn't catch it in time, and Jesus just had the lineup there. Very well done. 16 HP, less than half a bullet from death. Stockton loses that round dash, that timeout, worth its weight in gold. They've done it once, but they didn't break the econ. Now they've got to win it high and dry. You won with a weapons disadvantage, so this should technically be way easier.
I mean, that was a pivotal round win for SVSU. The fact that either winner or loser now will have the advantage going into the next round, with the enemy team having broken money for the most part, is a tough pill to swallow. Now back to your standard defaults here. Immediate wall break towards mid. Comedic gonna fall all the way back because he does have Seekers in play for the retake. And so you just got to slow creep up towards vents this time on SVSU's side. They usually favor B Heaven.
Okay, Frank, B Heaven is definitely a pattern we've seen so far. Comedic's timing might be phenomenal or could be terrible. Unknown takes down Strat. Pops the Seekers on the corner. A wide swing to boot. There comes the Hawk. And the entirety of SVSU booking it back into those vents. Comedic expends their entire arsenal in a single play, Ash. That's a play that they might want back.
Fast rotate off. Rolling Thunder doesn't find anything here for SVSU, and all they have is Heaven control. The rotation already being pulled towards CTB, completely open, and the call to move over towards the B site does come through, but you've got Somnus hot on your tail.
Somnus just around the corner. A Hawk to boot, but it's Jason that bites the bullet instead, falls early.
30 seconds left.
Another Hawk doesn't catch Somnus. They know that's 2 used. They can push in off Heaven. Spike planted right out in the open, and the angle should be held. I think we're going to see a paranoia from Slade in just a moment here. Up onto Heaven might help the team get that elimination early.
You have a Nightfall available, but unlikely to come out in a 3v5. Haunt does come down, and Somnus drops towards Hell. That's 1 pick. Still 1 more needed to equalize here on SU's retake.
1 enemy remaining.
Bastion puts down Comedic. PJ is able to find one, but it's all for naught at the end of the day. Unfortunately, SVSU 8th round on the board, feeling confident with their chances moving forward if they can continue breaking this speed. And the speed has certainly been broken. The bank account of Stockton currently empty.
They will have some pretty big ults to work with on their next anti-eco rounds. SVSU, they have the advantage money-wise. They do have a From the Shadows available in case things do go awry. I think that's likely why we're seeing Slade hold the spike here. If SVSU does, or if SU does something crazy like push out super aggressively, can just completely run away and try to take a site with it. And already aggression coming out here towards mid and punished off the bat.
Very punishing blow. Somnus gets flashed into the box there. I like the hold we're seeing. Nobody panics. The Tasmanian Tiger pops up onto the corner, and SVSU a numbers advantage all over again. It won't be their triple digits, or their, what am I saying, double digits, but it'll be another round win. It'll close the gap only by 1 now, Ash. I mean, you couldn't have predicted it more perfectly. You said this is either going to be a shutout or it's going to be unbelievably close, and unbelievably close it continues to be.
I'd like to see Jason moving that wall over. I'd like to see a call being made to put it back towards an extremity, whether it's A main, whether it's B main, cut off that choke point, because when it's mid, you already know that SVSU aren't afraid to smoke off whether it be Heaven or vents and walk through towards the other mid location. So it's already not going to be respected. It's going to be shot off right at the bat. And I think we'll have so much more value somewhere else on the map. But once again, it's going to go towards mid and already being broken down.
And this was one of your biggest fears, Ash. You said that way back in the beginning. You were like, I really don't want to see a repetitive wall over and over because it can be damaging and it can get a lot of value elsewhere. Right now, they're just highlighting your point over and over again that this wall continues to get no value. And it's a very strong ability. It can make or break an approach for some of these teams. But looks like it's not going to be happening yet. That's just another main wide open.
It's just conditioning, right? Wall goes up, more presence shown, throw that slow down, wait, throw the second slow down, and then all the stage util is gone at that point. I don't think a second slow did go out quite yet, but I also don't know if it was in the arsenal. So no, there weren't any other slows available. That was already all your sentinel utility gone.
Oh, wide swing on the corner. Strat and Spec get traded out. So it's a 4-4 on the board. Stockton certainly wants this round win. They've let a couple slip between their fingers, and they don't want it to happen once again. Walks into the aftershock. I think I would have liked to see Saint hold that corner and take the breach down. You knew he was going to peek, and the aftershock wouldn't have caught you a little bit to the right. A full-blown teleporter relocate from our friend Slade onto the A site. A genius play, one we see often from these omens. And while he hesitates on the spike plant, Ash, that might have been long enough for this guy to get in. Possibly finds the elimination, and she does.
But it's
this just a
wide
defuse?
open.
Ah.
Yeah, perfect plant spot. Planted for any angle. You gotta keep yourselves guessing, but Nightfall does come out here for SU's retake, and Unknown stuck here in Hell.
Unknown stuck, they certainly were. There goes Somnus as well. 2v2, and each time it falls into a XVX like this, Stockton has not been able to clutch it out yet. He's Strat be the hero. The team needs one left standing. Paint shells online. You've got the intel there near elbow. 22 bullets in the Vandal. You just got to start the defuse process right now, but they don't even look towards that back area. And Smashton finds a 4K to tie up the game 10-10. Map 3, 10-10 on the board. Both these teams hungry for this win.
I love that reposition coming out from Smash, and nobody would expect that this guy would rotate towards screens after holding that elbow location. But Smashton's also 24-12 right now, doing so much work. Similar, it could be said, towards Strat on the SU side, 22-15. But I'm looking over towards the money. SU, they're broke. They do have a showstopper and Cosmic Divide, and right off the bat, going up close personal with the Bucky, but stuck in the trip, and Unknown gets 2.
Oh, the headshot and everything with the Bucky. You got to be just on top of them to make it work, and they could not get close enough. I mean, a valiant effort, Ash, no doubt about it. But, you know, it might cost them this round. It probably will, actually.
Yeah, it's tough. We'll see how things do pan out, but it's a 5v3 situation here for SVSU. SU, huge disadvantage as far as numbers and weapons go. If anything, we can try and go for some exit frags, but Unknown's looking for the ace.
Yeah, or let Unknown get an ace added to the highlight reel. Somnus on the flank. There's a rifle off to the side, but even Jesus is holding this angle. They want to make sure no rifles get carried out in the next round. Somnus peeks it. It's a shot. Jesus was not fully ready for that, but it is still a flawless round win from one side to the other. A flawless has now been achieved for both teams tonight, and on this map in particular. I don't know, Ash, we're getting a lot of value here from SVSU, and this timeout makes a whole lot of sense from Stockton. Something's got to change, or these next 2 rounds might just slip away in the blink of an eye.
I'm surprised that we didn't see Stockton actually calling the timeout in the previous round. Usually you see it being called during your eco, and then on your bye, you've already got the plan set from the eco round where you talked about whatever you're going to do and whatnot. But again, reiterating the fact that there are 3 ultimates available here for Stockton University. Big win conditions. You've got Strat, who's usually good for 1 with the showstopper. And then PJ's got that Cosmic Divide for the retake. Seekers as well. So looking for PJ and Comedic especially to live into the late round for that post plant. Meanwhile, in SVSU, not too much going on as far as impactful ultimates go. I mean, Unknown, you do have the neural theft, but at the same time, it's like, okay, it gives you information, but it's not always the best ultimate as far as like setting a play up with it. But Spec is 1 away from the showstopper as well, so could see investment going there.
I'm a big fan of the showstopper, and I'd love to see it get some value here one way or another. We've seen a lot of very valuable showstoppers, actually. Now that I sit down and think about it, I'm like, dang, we've seen a pretty crazy plays with that.
Most of them have hit today.
Yeah, I was going to say, the success rate has been crazy high. And before that 4K from Unknown in the previous round, the scoreboard was almost a mirror all the way through, you know, top frag versus top frag all the way down. But now it's been shaken up a little bit. SVSU, they've got the confidence boost. They've got weapons to work with. And it feels like they've just got the download on what Stockton wants to try and do here.
Yeah. A different wall, so switching things up, keeping B Heaven control. Completely respected the wall too, not even going to try and break it as SVSU have crept into vents. But the way that Heaven is being played right now with ramps and back, the rope sound cue as well, you've got a crossfire set up for the swing.
The aftershock comes through from the ropes, wants to clear somebody out. Suspect can find the elim. They don't check the corner, but they do check PJ, who goes down. They don't turn around. Jason has no trigger discipline.
Oh no, the bird.
And the information's been given completely away. Hawk cannot make its way through that window in time, and the neural theft now online. Smashton's Stockton's Seekers. Too many TONs in this game. Oh, Paint Shell does catch Unknown. Just unfortunate timing. Might have destroyed the cam even. That had a pretty big radius on it.
It did take out the cam.
30 seconds
now
left.
full rotation being thrown over towards mid side, but with 30 seconds left, SU, they had the chance to spread themselves back out, play the default holds, and it's a rush towards B Heaven with a late flank coming out from Unknown.
Oh, Somnus, phenomenal job there on the B side. Makes the dream achievable for Stockton. Only 10 seconds remain. We all know it takes 4 point something to find the plant, and Smashton might be able to. I'd love to see a rush down if Smashton were to stop at all. It was a round lost, but now they've made it possible for Unknown to come through and drop a 4K again, or a 3K this time, I believe. I don't actually remember, but half of it already down. Goes for the spray. Jason dodges it, and that's a defuse. Double swing the corner. Jason puts down Unknown, and Stockton ties us back up 11-11. Overtime could possibly be just over the corner here.
The rotation was a little bit too confident coming from SVSU. Sure. I mean, Neural Theft, sure, gave you info that they were largely rotated towards A, but the rotation times for defenders is not that long. It's split, but rotations for both teams is pretty short, to be quite honest. I just don't think anyone anticipated for Somnus to already be back in that B corner, because why would you play, you know, a one and done in that kind of situation? And now equalized again, 11-11, looking for that mid control, switching up the walls to guard B Heaven. You can walk right past that.
You absolutely can. That wall is...
I think people are looking at it like,
Yeah, they're like, do we think that's on purpose, or is that a little bit of a freestyle? It certainly seems to be. Seekers online coming out from SVSU this time. And they give away a lot of critical information on the locations of the enemy. Spec about to get timinged by Strat. And Strat might get timinged by Jesus. I love the short throw over box there. It forces them back into the corner of vents. That's never a spot you want to be in. The showstopper might just spray the box here and pray for the best.
I know.
It feels like Strat knows. Here we go.
Oh!
Unknown just ping diffs, better gaming share. I mean, my goodness, what a shot from Unknown to get that ultimate offline and give the team a tied-up advantage for equalizer once again. B Heaven completely compromised. Smashed and opens up the site as Jason will fall. Insomnus drop the three-piece miracle they did last round as well.
We'll have to see. The same angle as previously. Might be anticipating it, but gets a double. 30 seconds, and SVSU now have to retrieve the spike in the hands of SU as well. This is looking tough.
Looking tough indeed, Ash. Slade, they know, but they don't know they know? Okay, Comedic will go down. St. PJ fine. Slade's a little too distracted looking up in the moment, and Stockton now 1 round away from winning this out in a 13-11 regulation.
Match point here, but also only 1 round for SVSU to take it to OT. Hey, I called that if it wasn't going to be an OT game, we were going to go the entire distance. And now only 1 ultimate for both sides. That's the showstopper in Spec's hands. Cosmic Divide yet to be pulled out from St. PJ. Potential also for a couple more to get online for either side.
And honestly, it's incredible. No matter who you are, y'all gotta walk away proud of this game because it's gonna be separated by a single round like this. Spec has the showstopper online, double blast back in, nobody's on site. The Prowler ruins it, just cannot get the lineup in time. And with the Cosmic Divide now up for Stockton, it's that much harder for SVSU to communicate what's happening. Smashton goes down a blind fire. Somnus finds one of their own 5v3. Let's make it a 4v2. Nightfall rather online. It's just the hard run. Spike makes it out of the fight, Ash, and it's got to be a hard commit back down to that A site.
So much pressure put directly onto that post plant, and now Unknown just snuck up here towards Mail. Great for sound cues. Can hear one towards stairs as you have each player reversing now over towards A. That's unfortunate timing with the wall having broken and whatnot. Now Jesus has to creep in, just play contact up, but SU already knows the rotations come through.
I'm sorry, that was hysterical. That was the timing on that was just miserable for Unknown. They do live to tell the tale, so it doesn't ruin much in the rotation up through
30 seconds
A.
left.
If you take it quick, unbeknownst to them, they've split 2-2 on site. You might be able to find them a fault line up into heaven. They've got to suspect somebody's luck on this site, Ash. There's no way Stockton would give it up for free. And they're just not paying attention for it. They go for the plant. They can't find it. Jesus gets caught in a 2v1, and Stockton will win the game, win the map, 13-11 the series. 2-1, a bitter fight until the bitter end, but Stockton a very well-deserved victory.
Man, that was right down to the wire. I mean, all 3 games today were super close. The one with the biggest distance was on Lotus, being a 13-7 there for SVSU, but kind of anticipated because Lotus is, new, everyone's still adjusting. But Seth, how did you feel about Split?
I was definitely impressed with these teams. I truly went in here with the belief, almost the same energy as like a 9-3 curse of like, yes, Split is always super one-sided, like somebody's going to lose. But no, instead, it was a very pleasant surprise. I think it really came down to the performances of the Razes, respectively. It felt like when one of them found an opener early, the team always capitalized off it. But in those rounds where one of them, where Strat would fall early, it felt like Stockton would often lose those rounds. So Duelists, for the first time in a long time, it feels were kind of the linchpins on both sides. And due to their both of their great performance, it was never a one-sided affair.
Yeah, I believe the Razes, if we're going to do like a head-to-head for the Duelists at the very least, Spec went with 5 first bloods, Strat had 7 first bloods.
Amazing.
But then, I mean, I really got to give kudos over to SVSU's Smashin with the 26 and 15 on that support character, the Sky. But at the end of the day, it was Stockton University that ended up closing things out. And we are going to actually throw to a quick break and be right back with a Stockton interview.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilance, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in Week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct, tight angles make it tough. You have Axorus that actually gets a wallbang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. It's a lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're going to spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Sledge option going to be charging forward smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit and pick, getting hit by the kick. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That clock has been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy connects off the backboard. What a shot. I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omen smokes coming out. 1, oh, Spec just finds 3. What? Spraying through the smoke? Oh, what, Spec? That's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing his stock right now for Concord would be really bad. And, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one. Hello everybody and welcome back to ECAC Plays of the Week, and it's not just any week this time, it is the playoffs. We've got 8 incredible clips and I'm super excited to jump into them. My name's Septilence, I hope you're ready to hop into the ride because it's going to be a great one. When I found out this was clip number 8 of the playoffs highlight reel, I was flabbergasted because this is an incredible moment from Swift on the side of RPI. It's not just 1 or 2 elims to win the round and put RPI in a better position. Hello everybody and welcome back. We have just wrapped up an insanely close split, an insanely close series through and through, but we do have Stockton University coming out on top, a 13-11 victory up against SVSU. We are joined by in-house legend, as we've learned in the green room, Saint PJ from Stockton. So PJ, man, my first question, I've kind of already let you in on it a little bit, but as soon as it happened, I thought it was super unconventional. I thought it was kind of weird, and then you went out and dominated with it. The Astra pick on split is so fascinating. Can you kind of talk a little bit about the team strategy of bringing that to the table without, of course, giving away all your plans and whatnot?
Absolutely. So in like the tired tiers of play, she's really strong playing it with a Viper. But the issue with our team is that like Astra Viper is really hard to coordinate. And it's not that we can't, but we feel like we're like stronger on other agents in that situation.
Sure.
And I felt like when I played like a smoker like Omen, yeah, I would have the blind if I wanted to blind male, and I'd have like the smokes. But I feel like Astra, I can not only put down utility like faster. Like there's a few rounds where I prepped like 2 stars behind each other for the smoke, and then the suck if they try to like come like fast into sight. And then at the same time, I feel like Omen ulti is really niche, especially on a map like Split.
Yeah.
If you're playing Haven because it's so big, if you Omen ult somewhere, it's really hard to get a read on it. But like they used it for info, but I feel like the info you gain with that isn't that strong. Because if you're playing someone like Sky, the flash gives you the info that you need in that situation. And so I felt like the Astro Wall was just like way more beneficial for either like taking a site fast or retakes.
That makes total sense. I mean, it's really cool to see her being used as a solo controller. But with my questions, I want to lean more into the timeouts that you were calling. I felt that there were a lot of times that SVSU, they were getting that momentum, and you called timeouts at like pretty like perfect timings, to be honest, to kind of stall that out. But I want to learn more about kind of how it goes on behind the scenes, because not only did it stall that momentum, but I found that your timeouts like did have a lot of impact as far as changing up the plays that you guys are making and finding success right off the back.
Yeah, so that was one of the biggest issues last semester season, is that we just didn't call timeouts. And it bit us in the foot a lot because we would just let them keep momentum and steamroll. But we brought up Jason from Stockton Blue, our second team, and Jason is a really good at making sure, like, look, our mental is fried, look, they have momentum, call it. And, like, my favorite part about, like, having someone like that is because I like to call really, like, intricate plays on both attack and defense. So having someone call that and giving us that full minute, I can tell everybody exactly what they need to do, and I don't have 20 seconds to do it. I can say, hey, if this happens, fall back. You can put your mute cell here. I'm going to star here. I can wall here. And so it's more or less like it allows us to not only like recoup and try to like ice them in a way, like the term ice the kicker, but at the same time, it allows us to like draw up more specific plays so we can like just go massive the next round.
Okay, that's really cool. Nice insight to learn about from coming from you guys. But and then my second question before I pass back over to Recept is leaning more into Lotus. So I know that was SVSU's map pick, but I was curious, like it didn't end up coming out as one of the first initial bans, which a lot of schools are throwing out right now for this map. How are you feeling actually going into that being the second one?
It sucks because unfortunately our school didn't give us a lot of time to like work with our team, and so we've only scrimmed a handful of maps. So I even called it, and maybe it's a jinx, cross my fingers that it wasn't. But we were going into the map bans trying to pick out Pearl, because that was the map we really were banking on today. And they first banned Pearl, and I was so mad. I said, watch them pick Lotus, and it's just not going to go our way. And it just happens like that. But the reason we didn't first ban it is, first off, I hate map Fracture. Fracture's awful.
So valid.
The issue with Fracture is that there's no like proper middle of the map. So like it's a lot of push-pull, but there's nothing that a lurker can do. And me and Comedic are really big on like trying to take that like mid-round space. And when you can't do that, it's just difficult. You're just 5-manning or you're splitting. It's just a pain. So we were like, no disrespect to the other team, of course, but we kind of looked at their ranks and we were like, mechanically, we're probably better than them. Let's go to Lotus. They had strats, and we were not ready for that. But we still managed to bring it as way closer than, honestly, I expected it. Not doubting my team at all, but we just really didn't play Lotus. Even my friends were memeing me. They were sending me screenshots, and they were like, hey, what about your big win here? Because we were like down like 0-4 on Lotus, and it's like, I told them all I was going to IGL a masterclass. But it sucks that we didn't have a lot of time to scrim it, but it was a map that all of us felt comfortable because whenever we play ranked on that map, we all play like our roles. Like we don't go out of our way to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to play Jet. I'm going to play Raze. Like, no, I play Harbor. I play Killjoy. I play Astra, depending on like what the map it is. So I felt like no matter what map it went to, as long as it wasn't Fracture, because we were kind of like semi-comfortable because even though we haven't had that much time together, we really enjoy each other as like a 5-man squad. And so with that, a lot of our communication and our chemistry issues kind of get absolved really early. Like we had it maybe week 1, but like this game was a lot more like swing off of me, swing off my content. I'm going to hold that. I'm going to smoke this, hold me. And so going into a map like Lotus, we kind of were banking on more of like the team play side of things. Didn't go our way, but the map did, like the whole match did. So can't complain that much.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys definitely earned your victory here today. And Sam PJ, we're just going to ask you one more quick question. We'll let you hit the road, man. Is there anybody you'd like to give just a thank you or a shout out to while you're here with us?
Shout out the boys, the entire team. Ian, Strat, Will Comedic, Alex Somnus, and Jason. They all played out of their minds today. They stepped it up exactly when they needed to. Big shout out to Ian because Ian went off on all 3 maps. Dude went absolutely insane. It was really cool to see us like actually work together way better than we have. Definitely. I don't know if it was the stream or something like that, but everybody was kicking the gear and everybody was making these huge plays. Like I didn't even know I was on for an ace until everybody went, he's tree, swing him. And I was like, oh, and I went to pick up a gun and got killed. But shout out the boys. Shout out Frank from Stockton. Shout out Kelsey, the new manager. They were kind of thrown into everything Valorant very short notice, and it kind of sucked. But they're doing their absolute best to not only make sure that we have everything we need to do, but also putting our names out there because Valorant being such a big esport and Stockton is really known for its Rocket League. They're trying their best to kind of push us because they feel like with Valorant, we're like the sky's the limit. That thank you for everybody watching. I know everybody put the link in everybody's servers and sent it to their friends. And Will has a bunch of people from another league that he plays in watching, and I know a couple of my friends were watching. So thank you everybody for supporting us.
Perfect. Well, hey PJ, huge congrats on the win, man, and best of luck to you for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And with that, folks, we are going to go ahead and call it a night here. It has been a crazy one, but it does come to a close with a 13-11 victory there on Split. Thank you to both teams for coming out tonight. Thank you to our observer, Cool Scoots, our producer, Colton, and, of course, all of you for watching. We love each and every one of you. Check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other. Come right back here tomorrow for some more Esports U action. We'll see you then.
Some value to it. The headhunter does a number on them. They're going to get a 4K. They're going to be able to get this plan down. Dakota's going to try and find them. Do they go into the tank? Yes, they do. Oh, they come out. That's the ace for Swift. They're able to make it happen all themselves, and they will get this one for free for RPI.
Clip number 7 tells a pretty amazing story as well. Ball State already up 2 games in a best-of-7 series, and they find themselves tied 2-2, less than a minute left on the clock. Perhaps a little bit more pressure than they'd want there in game number 3, but it's Daffy from Ball State that takes all the pressure and immediately relieves it from the team.
Find it back, pass to Daffy, bar down and in. Ball State will not be denied a game.
Crossbar has been doing a heck of a job here for Hartford, keeping the ball out of the net, but it only lasts for so long as Daffy's able to get...
Playoffs call for one thing: unconventional plays and crazy moments. And I knew this was going to be a crazy moment when the clip started with me looking at the casters. This stock comes through so fast from Northwood that we couldn't even get just the gameplay in the clip. It wouldn't be long enough. It is an incredible moment from SGP, and it just goes to show how good Northwood continues to be.
See, seconds into the match, and SGP's got a spike, a 0 to death at that.
Brother, that was literally one down here after Fireball, bro, please. Oh, and now we're playing this dangerous game at the ledge.
For clip number 5, we're jumping into one of my favorite games, and we get the chance to see one of my favorite ultimate combinations in the game right now. The Roadhog ultimate and the Kitsune Rush from Kiriko. So unbelievably strong, and it really helps Newberry kind of snap back in a moment where they were struggling to gain their footing once again.
To deal with that Nano Blade. You really just have to get around the protection Suzu and the Sleep Dart.
Well, there's the whole hog, there's the Kitsune Rush, and there goes the lives of Alfred State. Depressus is going to find a third. That's going to be a team kill. Kitsune Rush plus whole hog, overpowered, I swear.
Clip number 4, not quite on the podium, but still very, very impressive. Emery and Henry versus St. Lawrence going head-to-head. Both teams, 2 players left, but Hispanerd wants to clean up their opponents as quick as humanly possible, and quick they certainly were.
Yeah, little in fact, PhD actually stands for pretty heavy dude, because Dr. Mario might as well be ahead with how he hits and how hard he can be to kill sometimes. The fact that he has Mario's hitboxes, his get-off move tools, and these kill confirms at ledge, like I said, throw confirms.
At the beginning of this video, I talked about the individual presence a single player can have to make or break success for their team. Keller from Fisher College proves that point in its entirety by dropping a 4K against Ball State University and removing any iota of wind from their sails on Kings Row.
They could potentially use, be able to make something happen here. Now Ravenstrider is going to use the Kitsune Keller! 2 kills inside of the, oh my word, inside of the Dragons, and now they're looking for a 4K.
For our silver medal spot, our second clip here in the highlights of the playoffs is going to go to none other than Lackawanna. They have peppered themselves in these highlight reels week after week, and when they entered this upper bracket round 1, they immediately wanted to send the message they were there to win.
That's a big reason why Barton shouldn't be feeling too hard done by if they lose this series. That's a beautiful play.
And our number 1 gold medal clip of the ECAC playoff highlights is a beautiful moment from Hybrid, one that left my jaw on the floor. Let's see if the same goes for you.
For the team, it means a lot, right? Hybrid lurking in front, annihilate for giving, yeah!
Blows up that entire push.
And as much as I hate to say it, folks, this is the final ECAC top plays of the week here for the fall split. It's a sad moment, and I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to sit through this with you week after week and really highlight these individual players, because as great as the team play can be, it's awesome to see these moments where one person can make or break such an incredible moment for their team. I have been Septilence. You have been wonderful and rocking through all of these weeks with me, getting to see all these wonderful moments. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the spring. But until then, check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other. And I'll see you on the other side. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the ECAC Highlights, week number 8. It has been 8 weeks already, and hey, if you've been watching these on a bit of a binge, you like the new background, brand new first video it's going to be in, super excited to jump into this with you guys. Of course, I'm Septilence, here to walk you through the highlights of week number 8 at the ECAC. We are kicking off strong with clip number 8 here, as it's going to be Tony Pajamas on the Ness, Fisher College and NYIT, two of the greatest Smash programs in the country, going head to head, just completely dominant on both sides. But Tony Pajamas got sick of waiting and wanted to give Fisher that leg up once again.
Trying to limit options. They'll push this piranha plant away. And they got back yet again, and up air yet again into the yo-yo, and they'll be caught by the forward air. Tony will take him down.
For clip number 7, we'll be joining CSI and Iona going head-to-head in game number 3. A full-blown best-of-7, both teams a 1 win already under their belts, and somebody needed to walk away with that second win.